Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Sunday, October 11th, 2020, Father-Daughter Day, and the Lakers, in a season filled with all sorts of stories from the death of Kobe Bryant to coronavirus, have won their 17th championship in LeBron's 17th season. And of course, LeBron signed with the Lakers July 1st, 2018, a date that could be written 1/7 like 17, the big number in the NBA, because in Gematria, NBA equals 17. Just turning letters into numbers. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, E is 5, so on. N's the 14th letter, B's the second, A's the first, 14 plus 2 plus 1, 17. It's why the first video uploaded to this channel, Gematria Effect Sports, was why LeBron would win the championship for the Lakers, getting number 17 in his 17th season after signing on 1/7 with a $153.3 million contract, as it was first reported, because 153 is the 17th triangular number. And the owner of the Lakers, Buss, she's 59 years old right now. Jeannie Buss. She just turned 59. 59 is the 17th prime number. And, of course, she's the owner of the Lakers because Joanne Buss died earlier this year, 41 days before Kobe Bryant died at age 41. And, of course, in Gematria, Kobe Bryant's 41, King is 41, LA 41. And today is LeBron's 41st week of his age, and it's truly Father-Daughter Day. If you look this up, if you type in Father-Daughter Day, you will see it is Sunday, October 11th, 2020. And again, today is LeBron's 41st week of his age. King 41, Kobe Bryant 41, again LA 41, dead at 41. You might have noticed that the Dolphins wasted the 49ers today with a score of 43-17. Last night, Miami got wasted by Clemson, going down with 17. These games right before the Lakers pick up number 17. And again, it's been a season full of 17s. First game of the playoffs, too. Something happened for the first time in the NBA in 17 years. The Lakers and the Bucks both lost the top seeds. It was the first time in 17 years both one seeds won. There were a bunch of little riddles like that, and when the Lakers and Bucks both lost that day, I told my people who've had the futures in for the Lakers since forever, since we said it. Again, we called LeBron to win the finals this year, July 1st, 2018. Oldest video on this channel. Had to start the channel over again because Google kept deleting it. But that date he signed, July 1st, 2018, 7/1/2018. In numerology, 7 plus 1 plus 20 plus 18 is 46. And LeBron is now 4-6 in NBA Finals. And that matters because they call him King James. And in the King James Version Bible, Psalm 46 is the one where the 46th word from the front is shake, and the 46th word from the back is spear. Shakespeare. Francis Bacon, editor of the King James Bible, a lot of people contend he was really Shakespeare. So there's this well-known thing about 46 and King James because of the King James Bible. That was another reason I was real big on LeBron becoming 4-6 in finals, because all this stuff is biblical. It's all spiritual. And we're going to talk more about that because I got some other things to talk about besides just this NBA game. We're going to look at what they did in the NFL in Week 5 in the year of Super Bowl 55, because some really amazing stuff took place this week. Including one of our correct predictions of Alex Smith returning to the NFL this Sunday, as he did, and notice his two former teams lost today in huge upsets. We'll get to all that because there's something bigger going on here than I think any of us really know. And maybe a lot of us have felt that way for a long time, but we'll get to that. But look at the score of this game, 106-93. So much I can say about that score. Earlier today on GematriaEffectNews, my main channel, I uploaded a video about LeBron playing on Father-Daughter Day and the story with Killer Mike launching this for black people bank. And I showed the overlap, and I talked an awful lot about the number 106. Okay, I've been talking a lot about 106 with so many rituals this year, including recently the death of Chadwick Boseman, the Black Panther who played Jackie, dying on the 106th day of the Boulet's age. And the name Robinson equals 106, as in Jackie Robinson, who he played, as well as Black Panther. But we just started talking a lot about 106. The video I put out earlier today Talked a lot about 106, and I put this out before the game even started. Again, I've just been talking about the same numbers all year. Heck, I got a new book that's out, and I wrote all about 106 and all the Black Lives Matter stuff going on and just everything this year. And it's always a significant number. It's a number of prophecy. But look at the score, 106 to 93, added up, 199 points. 199 is the 46th prime number. LeBron's 4-6 in finals. He signed on a date with 46 numerology. The finals were originally supposed to be this year on June 4th. A date written 4/6 in the majority of the world, and then they got rescheduled because of coronavirus, which is all a big joke. Again, remember the NBA was suspended March 11th, the 142nd day of the season. Coronavirus equals 142. The season resumed 142 days later. They've been doing all these 142 rituals in sports. But anyway, 106.93. 93, number that represents Saturn, the keeper of time. The sun, its distance in millions of miles. When LeBron won on the real King James's birthday, June 19th, 2016, he won 93 to 89. The Warriors went down with 89 points. And again, King James equals 89. Look at this. Father-daughter day, right? I'll just copy and paste this so you can't think I'm typing it wrong. Father and daughter day. Again, these are all facts. We talked about this yesterday, earlier today. But Father-Daughter Day, with the alphabetic order, it equals 172. Today, LeBron got his 172nd win in the playoffs on Father-Daughter Day. Father-Daughter Day, also 82, with the alphabetic order and rules of numerology. Normally an 82-game season. Pro basketball equals 82. Bryant, 82. Game, 82. But here's the more mind-blowing thing. You see the 287? Today is LeBron's 287th day of his age. Born December 30th, and we'll get more to his birthday. But, here, I think I already have this in notes. Here, let me just come down. So right here, from LeBron's birthday to today's game, October 11th, 287 days, also 41 weeks. King 41, again, Kobe Bryant 41, LA 41. By the way, today leaves 81 days left in the year, like Kobe Bean Bryant's 81, who scored 81, his career high in his 666th game. But, and again, from Kobe's death to today, 37 weeks. Bryant, 37. Los Angeles, 37. Bryant's also 26. Dead on the 26th, the 37-year anniversary of Bear Bryant. Today was LeBron's 260th playoff game, 260. And if you counted LeBron, you know what? If you counted from Kobe's death to today and counted the span of days, see how it's 259 days later? If you count the span of days, it's 260 days, and LeBron set the record with 260 career games. But look at this. Father-Daughter Day. LeBron gets his 172nd playoff win on his 287th day of his age in tribute to Bryant, because Kobe and Gianna died, and now on Father-Daughter Day, his Lakers win another championship to tie the Celtics, who passed on him. And then Father-Daughter Day, 89, just like King James. And 89 is a big number with regards to the Bible. The Gospel, the story of Jesus, is 89 chapters, and religion's 89. And again, all this stuff is biblical. The word prophecy is 106, 93, important number. The Christian section of the Bible starts with the 930th chapter. We just talked about John Legend and Chrissy Teigen losing their third child on on September 30th. Biblical ritual. Sacrificing the son. But also something we talked about. If the Lakers closed it out 4-2 today, which they did, the word daughter is 42. See that? In the same cipher, Lakers is 42. And of course, LeBron James is 42. So, LeBron on the Lakers on Father-Daughter Day in the year that Kobe dies with his daughter. And of course, the coincidences don't end there. LeBron passed Kobe Bryant in points scored the day before Kobe's death in Kobe's hometown, Philadelphia, where the Lakers play one out of an 82-game season. So, again, just impossible coincidences. The day Kobe died. By the way, in my new book, huge chapter on Kobe's death and all the rituals. And it's just, that's the real reason to get this workout here. People win money off this, but really this stuff is just so sick, you guys. And you have to think about it. I mean, we're exposing what is just truly disgusting year after year, these sick race-based rituals in pro sports that are paying tribute to what they're programming in the news, which is always meant to work us up and outrage us and divide us, poison our minds. And then, so it's like we get the poison from the news, we get the distraction from the sports, which are also part of the same ritual. But, this evil just goes on, and people continue to feed these leagues and buy their merchandise and pay for their, all their stuff. I mean, just giving their money and their wealth and their time and their energy to just straight evil. And they just laugh in everybody's face. I mean, who's ever heard of Father-Daughter Day? I got to be honest, I didn't know what Father-Daughter Day was until yesterday when I uploaded a video about it after somebody left a great comment. Hey, Zach, check out Father-Daughter Day tomorrow. I was like, what? Because I was a little bit perplexed that the Lakers didn't close it out 4-1. By the way, the Lakers just got their 41st all-time win versus the Heat. And again, all this stuff's facts. Lakers Heat head-to-head postseason, Land of Basketball. Great basketball website. Sometimes you got to give it a minute for it to update the day of, but the Lakers and the Heat in the regular season were 37-27 against each other coming into this year. And again, that's interesting because in the most pure cipher, the alphabetic order with the rules numerology, Miami has 27 wins and Los Angeles has 37. Just like how they just closed it out on Father-Daughter Day, 37 weeks after Kobe's death and Giannis, as it was reported. But Los Angeles 37, Miami 27. That's the regular season. And then in the postseason, they've already updated it. The Lakers just got their 4th win. Heat on 2, so the Lakers now have 41 total wins against the Miami Heat. And of course, they went through the Blazers 4-1. They went through the Rockets 4-1. They had to face James in the year of King James. And then they went through the Nuggets 4-1. And when they advanced over the Nuggets, it was 199 days from Anthony Davis's birthday, which again is the 46th prime, which was one of the reasons we like the Lakers to close out that night, because Chicago's 46 and LeBron's chasing Jordan in the Chicago Bulls, and now he's 4-6 in finals. And if you guys are new here, again, just click on my name and then click videos, and then just sort by oldest, and you'll see the first video is about LeBron winning the championship in his 17th season. But then just a few videos up that, there's another follow-up video about where I think LeBron goes from here. So, put all this stuff out 2 years ago. But anyway, Lakers, 41 total wins after going through the first 3 rounds of the playoffs, 4-1, 4-1, 4-1. Not to mention they're following a similar path when Kobe Bryant got his 4th NBA ring, which I believe was the 2009 NBA playoffs. Here, I'll just show you. Pretty sure it was 2009. 2009 NBA playoffs? If it wasn't that, it was 2011. It was one of those two. Hold on. Doesn't this show... That's not what I want. 2000... I want the bracket. But the year that Kobe got his 4th ring, he beat Orlando that year. LeBron beats Miami, also from Florida, in Orlando, where this NBA bubble was at. And let's see. Is this the one? Yeah. So the Lakers, they went through the Jazz instead of Portland in the first round. And by the way, we knew it would be Portland versus LA in the first round. We knew Portland would rally and sneak into the playoffs because it just had to be. Because remember the Remembering Kobe Bryant game? Damian Lillard stole the show and beat the Lakers on their home court. Anyway, so we knew they'd meet. And there's a lot more to explain. But anyway, the Lakers went through the Blazers this year instead of the Jazz, but then they went through the Rockets in the second round and the Nuggets in the final round, and then they won the championship in Orlando 4-1. And again, Kobe Bryant that year. Kobe Bryant 41, LA 41, symbolic numbers. And you gotta love that they do it over the Magic too, right? Magic Johnson, huge part of the Lakers franchise. I'm sure if we go back and look at that, there was a great riddle there. You know what? Just for kicks, let's just go back and look at this. Let's look at Magic Johnson's birthday in 2009 in relation to the day the Lakers won the finals. I just got to figure out what date they won it. But again, they script this stuff year after year. 2009 NBA Finals dates. Let's see. And I'm going to get to something about the 1984 NBA Finals and the day LeBron was born to show you who's behind all this, because they paid tribute to that in a big way tonight when LeBron was at the free throw line with 84 points on the board and 2:01 on the clock, which we'll get to. But okay, June 14th it says. I want to confirm something besides Wikipedia. Sometimes their dates are off. Let's see. They got June 14th as well. That's the Flag's birthday. That's interesting that that's the Flag's birthday in Philly. Because Kobe, where's he from? He's from Philadelphia. And this year, LeBron passed him in Philly. See, all this stuff's connected, you guys. 11 years ago, the master number. Okay, but hold on. Magic Johnson, what day is his birthday? Magic Johnson, August 14th. 9 days before Kobe. Kobe's August 23rd. I love that Magic Johnson's 61 years old right now because finals equals 61 and today has 61 date numerology. Lakers just close it out on a 61 date. Just the alphabetic order finals 61. But hold on. Magic Johnson, August 14th. Well, let's see. June 14th, 2009. So his last birthday before that would have been August 14th, 2008. 10 months on the nose. I'm not sure. Let's see to his upcoming birthday. Oh. It was 61 days before his birthday that year. And what did I just say about finals in 61? And now the Lakers win again when he's 61. You see what I mean? It's just, it's a joke year after year. So the year that Kobe got his fourth ring was 61 days from Magic's birthday. And now this year, it's while he's 61, LeBron does the same thing. And of course, they said Magic was the reason LeBron came over. Men with similar games, big men that can play the point, score. Okay, hold on. I guess while we're at it, we might as well see how many days it is from his birthday this year to the championship. 58 days. Would you believe it? Man, it's sick. Okay, you know what else is? Okay, first we'll start with 58. Because you could also say it's his 59th day of his age. But again, Kobe Bryant is 58. And Los Angeles Lakers is 58. Right? So they win it for Kobe on Father-Daughter Day. 58 days after Magic's birthday. Orlando Magic. The Lakers winning it in Orlando. Remember, I told you guys when they announced the league was coming back how it was everything was just synced up around LeBron James. It was laughable. It was laughable. And it's been laughable. It's been, a foregone conclusion that this 17 thing was going to come through. The number's just too big with the NBA. But Los Angeles Lakers, 58. Kobe Bryant, 58. Remember, it's a special number, 58. Secret Society's 58. Freemasonry's 58. The Thursday night football game before last, Brett Rippon made his debut the night before Mark Rippon's 58th birthday, and Mark Rippon is 58, if I can remember how to spell his name right. Yeah, just like that. And that night, Brett Rippon made starting quarterbacks making their debut in primetime 10-1 in all-time NFL history. On the date October 1st, 10-1 in the 101st NFL season. So 10-1 on 10-1 in the 101 season. But again, these numbers are special. It's bigger than just Kobe Bryant. It's bigger than just the Los Angeles Lakers. You might recall back in January when Kobe died, we talked about how Kobe died 271 days after the 126th emperor of Japan took his throne, and 271 is the 58th prime. And Kobe Japan's establishment date is April 1st, 41, like 41, like Kobe Bryant dead at 41. Again, these base ciphers, you got to know them all. Kobe Bryant dead at 41 on his 157th day of his age. On his 113th day of his age, he was in the news for helping out with an accident in Los Angeles, a car accident. King James died at age 58 in real life. And remember, if you write out 2, it equals 58. They debuted the Black Mamba jersey January 26th, 2018, 2 years before January 26th, 2020, the day Kobe died. What are the odds of that? And at the time, we probably covered that when they debuted those jerseys. We probably pointed out that it was the 26th, big number with Kobe's career. Bryant's 26 and 37, again, dead on the 26th, on the 37-year anniversary of Bear Bryant, the football coach. Now the Lakers win 37 weeks after his death, Sunday to Sunday. In a perfect ritual. Okay, so we've covered the 17s. Again, LeBron's 17th season, signed by the Lakers on 1/7. The Lakers get their 17th championship, NBA 17. By the way, Jack Welch died earlier this year, the CEO of General Electric, and Arthur did good research connecting how his death was 213 days before the start of the NBA Finals once they scheduled it. And to me, that was another great sign for the Lakers, because I was like, there it is. The NBA Finals equals 213. LA's the NBA area code. Or LA's the 213 area code. The NBA Finals is 213. And I was like, okay, look at that. A guy connected to the Lakers, the Celtics, because the Celtics are wearing the General Electric patch, who he was the CEO of, Jack Welch. Again, I was like, see, it's a tribute to LA. They're going to tie the Celtics with that 17th championship. And remember the other year when LeBron played in his 213th playoff game on June 1st, the 213th day of the year, the first game of the NBA Finals, and I said, look at how perfect that is for LeBron to play in his 213th playoff game on the 213th day of the year. That was when he was still in Cleveland. And that day, remember they said he was shook for that series because that day somebody spray painted his house in the 213 area code with the N-word. And you guys, again, look, he ends up winning his first championship with the Lakers 4-2 in the 213 area code. And remember, the N-word is 42 in the most pure cipher, just like LeBron James is 42. Again, big number with Black History. Slavery's 42. Tuskegee's 42. Black History Month, February's 42. The word bus is 42. The name Jackie's 42. The name Malcolm X is 42. The name Martin is 42 in the sitcom Martin. He lives in apartment number 42. Michael King Jr. took the name Martin Luther King Jr. But Lakers win at 4-2. Lakers, of course, is 42 again on Father-Daughter Day 42. And remember, we talked about this when Kobe died. He crashed in the middle of the field, but all the media reported that he crashed on the 4200 block. And now 4-2. Father-Daughter Day. Spells. And again, just how perfect it is. Here we are years later. It's LeBron's 287th day of his age on Father-Daughter Day, and he gets his 172nd win in the playoffs. He came in 171 and 88, tying Derek Fisher, who made a lot of his finals with the Lakers. He had 259 games to tie in the year where they're wearing Black Lives Matter on their uniforms. You know, Black Lives Matter 259. And you see the 56? Again, Miami Heat 56, LA Lakers 56, NBA bubble, as they called it, 56. Coronavirus, 56. Remember, coronavirus was blamed on Rudy Gobert, and my favorite riddle of the entire NBA resumed season was we just laughed so hard. We just knew it was Money in the Bank. Utah was a good payout, and we saw that it was 56 days after Rudy Gobert's birthday, and we were keeping track of their record. They were 4-6 in the bubble at the time. We said, this is easy. 56 days after Rudy Gobert's birthday. Make the Utah Jazz 5-6 in the bubble. And not only did they do it, but Rudy Gobert was the leading scorer in the game, and he rarely ever is. He's not the big scorer guy. He's the big rebounding defensive presence in the middle. But 56 days after his birthday, the man blamed for coronavirus, Utah became 5-6 in the bubble. And again, you see how coronavirus won 42? From the day the NBA season began to the day it was suspended, March 11th, the 142nd day of the season, it resumed a span of 142 days later. And all these numbers used ritualistically in all these sports. Again and again and again. Okay, what other things should I talk about? I'm going to get to the NFL, but oh yeah, we got to hit this one right here. So again, who's behind all this? It's the Jesuits. The Jesuits were created in the 16th century to counter the 95 Theses, which was to expose the Catholic Church's business model of leading people into sin so they could make them pay for it on Sundays in the church, which is essentially what they still do. And anyway, massive Jesuit ritual when Pat Riley went to the NBA Finals to face the Lakers, his old team, now with the Heat. Pat Riley advanced to the NBA Finals on September 27th, the day the Jesuits were recognized by Rome in history. All roads lead to Rome. And again, that's the day leaving 95 days left in the year, September 27th. Their purpose was to counter the 95 Theses, which was the document that led the Protestant Reformation. So Pat Riley advanced to the NBA Finals that day to face the Lakers, and he's from Rome, New York, and it was 191 days after his birthday, and Society of Jesus is 191. 191 is the 43rd prime number. Here, I'll just show you this. Society of Jesus 191, huge numbers with the Jesuits. Also, there's that 50. All these numbers are so important. But 191, that's the 43rd prime number. Notice Pat Riley's 43. Notice Miami Heat is 43. Today, the Dolphins won 43-17. Get the riddle? Miami Heat, 43. About to give up the 17th championship to the team from California like the 49ers. And we'll get more to that riddle. But Miami Heat, 43. And it's the year of the pandemic, which is all by the numbers. Pandemic, 43. So Pat Riley advanced to the NBA Finals to face the Lakers 191 days after his birthday on this huge Jesuit day. And if you watch the video I put out in May when they announced when the NBA was returning, I was talking about how it was all Jesuit rituals. They said they scheduled the NBA to originally return for July 31st, but then they added a doubleheader to July 30th. But initially in May, they said it would resume on July 31st. And that's the day in history the founder of the Jesuits died, Ignatius of Loyola. So just Jesuit rituals everywhere when you know what to look for. And anyway, that brings me to this right here, what this was all about. And it's mind-blowing how they do this year after year, how they get the time on the clock just right with the score. But notice, the Lakers were up 84-52 with 2:01 on the clock. And LeBron was born in 84, infamous year. George Orwell's 1984, Jesuits 84, Superior General 84. Earlier this year, the Superior General of the Jesuits, Adolfo Nicolas, died at age 84 on May 20th, the day leaving 225 days left in the year, and Adolfo Nicolas equals 225. And he died on the 191st day of Arturo Sosa's age. He's the current leader of the Jesuits, and Society of Jesus is 191. So anyway, 84, huge Jesuit number. LeBron born in 84, at the very end of 84 on December 30th. And the Lakers had 52 wins this year in the regular season, and this was helpful to know because there were some major 52 tributes. An incredible one was 239 days after LeBron's birthday. 239 is the 52nd prime. They just stacked all these 52s. But what I was saying then is it's not an accident that the Lakers have a player on their team named Caldwell Pope, because Pope is 52. And right now we're in the time of the first Jesuit Pope, and the Jesuits are running all this stuff. So I said, look at this. 84-52 with 2:01 on the clock. Look at how this comes together. Again, 1984, the NBA Finals. The Celtics beat the Lakers. Pat Riley went down 4-3. Remember, Pat Riley, 43. Miami Heat 43. Paying tribute to history. Celtics, who the Lakers just tied in this 17 ritual. But look at this. The finals ended June 12th that year. And from the day they ended to the day LeBron was born was 201 days later. And remember, this is that boss number with the Jesuits. Pope Francis is the first Jesuit pope, and he's the first pope to live in Suite 201 at the Vatican, which is known as the Domus Sanctae Martae, which equals 201, just like how Pope Francis's birth name, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, is 201, and just like how the founder of the Jesuits, Ignatius of Loyola, is 201. And Ignatius of Loyola died 84 days from his own birthday in 1556. Catholic popes also 201, the Jesuit order is 201. Kobe died while traveling from Catholic Mass for another 201. And it's just been a huge number all year, 201. From George Perry Floyd to Event 201, the coronavirus outbreak simulation, the same day the military World Games began in Wuhan, China, of all places. It's just been a year of 201. And we were already talking about how LeBron was born 201 days from the end of the 1984 NBA Finals. So shout out to the person who left that comment. Great research. And just there's been so much in 201, even with sports recently, the whole 201 ritual they just did with Matt Ryan, Jesuit educated, in his 201st game the other week that we've talked about several times. But again, 201, 84, 52. Pope Francis is about to turn 84 years old, and he has 84th birth numerology. And check this out. His birthday is December 17th. Hello, 17. And from the Lakers championship to his upcoming birthday is 68 days. basketball and Catholicism are 68, and championship is 68. Just like the year the Warriors swept the Cavs, we saw that Game 4 was on June 8th, 6-8, and we said, uh-oh, looks like a sweep. Because that year it wasn't fair. It was LeBron's worst team and the Warriors' best team, and they did. They swept them on 6-8. So 68 in finals riddles is nothing new either. But look at how they got this thing so perfectly synced with the Pope. You know? This is when you start to realize, again, Kobe's death was synced with the placement of the Emperor of Japan. You know where Adolfo Nicholas died this year, the Superior General of the Jesuits? He died in Japan. Where do the Jesuits operate? Worldwide. They say they operate in 112 countries. They probably operate in more, but 112. Catholicism's also 112 with the alphabetic order, so is mathematics. They do everything by the code. Biblical, the fourth book of the Bible, Numbers. Kobe falls to fourth in scoring, a number associated with death after LeBron passes him in his hometown, Philly, which gets its name from Revelation in the Bible. Kobe dies the next day. And again, the four-letter name of God, the tetragrammaton equals 58, like Kobe Bryant. The four-letter name of God in Hebrew sums to 26, like Brian's 26, dead on the 26th. Again, all this stuff is biblical. And it is perfectly synced with the Pope. And just realize this is what they do. This shows you how set the chessboard is. You have to understand, the Jesuits have been operating in a place of power since the 16th century, backed by the most powerful entity in the world, the Church. And again, that comes from Rome. And what do they know about Rome? How to control populaces with fear, intimidation, war, policing, laws, things to distract you, the Colosseum, Lakers, lots of championships. Anyway, this is how good they have it. And what I ask myself, just because, I mean, for 7 years we've been doing this, predicting things correctly from sports to news to everything else. And as I continue to just watch it year after year, it blows my mind. Like more and more each year, I'm just like, it does seem greater than man. And remember, all of this knowledge that they're using comes from spiritual places. And Kabbalah, it's supposed to be about spiritual ascension, but there's also a spiritual wickedness side, casting spells, having influence over people, trying to control outcomes. You just watch how this stuff goes down like clockwork. I mean, how do they pull it off night after night? So, with regards to that, I want to talk about football. I want to talk about what went down in the NFL today. And by the way, before I get to NFL, again, on my other channel, GematriaEffectNews, I did a video today bringing this story together about Killer Mike's black-owned bank and LeBron potentially closing out the finals on Father-Daughter Day, and showed how it all came together. But I just want you to see that I made a big point. Well, I made a big point about 201 in this video as well, because Killer Mike's birth name is 201. Again, I've been talking about the same... Oh, and by the way, I talked about how they created this bank on the day leaving 84 days left in the year and all the 56 stuff. But anyway, this is the point I really wanted to show you. The name of the bank is called Greenwood, in tribute to Black Wall Street and the Tulsa race riots and all that. But notice, Greenwood's 106, Black 106, Black Power 106, Black Lives Matter 106, Oakland, California 106, where the Black Panther Party was established, I Can't Breathe 106... And you think about Black Entertainment Television, they used to have the hit show 106 in Park. And Bounce TV 42 like Jesuit. But Chadwick Boseman, big LA-related death. We talked about how it was synced up with Kobe's death, the Black Mamba, and how he died on the 106th day of the Boulé's age. And LeBron James is in the Boulé, as was Kobe. But Chadwick Boseman died August 28th. Again, Jackie Robinson Day in the MLB this year, Jack Kirby's birthday, the author of Black Panther, and several other things. But from the Boulé's establishment to his death, 106 days, Robinson 106, again, all this 106 stuff. And the most important 106 story of the year is this one right here. The day they began testing these vaccines that are likely harmful to human life on Black Africans on Wednesday, June 24th, 2020, the 106th day of the pandemic. And more important prediction I made than the Lakers winning in the 17th finals is at the beginning of this outbreak, I said how this is coming straight from Event 201. And in Event 201 in Claydex, they rush out vaccines, they hurt people. It's poor, darker complected communities that are hit the hardest. And I said, this won't be good for, Africa or poor communities. And you see what they're doing right now. They're even in the news saying that, poor ethnic people are going to be the people who need this vaccine the most. Well, just remember Bill Gates, who's behind all this stuff. He's also the same one who, at his TED Talk 10 years ago, put up the picture of the black African children in the background, and moments later talked about how we need to depopulate the earth, and we can do it if we do a good job with vaccines. So, again, while they're distracting you with the circus and these rigged sports, real agendas are going down that are definitely not positive for anyone's quality of life and the foreseeable outlook for the quality of life for people. But again, Lakers win it with 106 tonight. 199 points, the 46th prime number. LeBron 4-6 in finals, signed with the Lakers on a 46 date, 1/7, brings home the 17th championship in his 17th season for the Lakers. Okay. So we had a prediction that Alex Smith would be in the game this week. Alex Smith would play. And I know I talked about this last week in a live stream because, anyway, that was public, but we spotted that Alex Smith, if he came back this week, which he did, it would be 99 weeks after his injury. And you guys might recall that I did a lot of work on Alex Smith's broken leg at the time. The videos are still up on Gematria Effect Sports. But he was injured November 18th, 2018 by J.J. Watt, number 99. And I looked the other week, because I'm just always researching the NFL and trying to figure out what they're doing with the riddles. Notice Alex Smith comes back today, and his two former teams are the two biggest upsets of the day. His 49ers and Chiefs go down. We'll talk more about it. But from his injury November 18th to today, 99 weeks. And when he was on the team, they were still the Redskins, 99. And when you write out 11, it's 99. He wears number 11. He returns on the 11th. And again, it was J.J. Watt, number 99, who injured him. And the day he was injured, November 18th, that's the 322nd day of the year, 322, number of skull and bones, which is related to the Jesuits. Adam Weishaupt, the Jesuit who created the Bavarian Illuminati that Skull and Bones is related to, died November 18th, the 322nd day of the year. But J.J. Watt's birthday is March 22nd, 322. So the guy with the 322 birthday busts up Alex Smith's leg on the 322nd day of the year. And remember, Joe Theismann was injured on the same hash mark playing for the same team 33 years to the day with a very similar injury. So Alex Smith has this horrible injury. He comes back 99 weeks later for the team that's normally the Redskins, Cowboys, and Indians. And what happens to the Cowboys quarterback? Dak Prescott has the worst injury for a quarterback since Alex Smith's injury, the most gruesome injury. So it's not like this stuff happens every week. This was 99 weeks ago. This is the worst injury to a quarterback in the NFL since Alex Smith the day he returns. Cowboys and Indians, right? And, who came in today for Dak Prescott? Andy Dalton, which to me is just hilarious. Those of you who followed me for a long time have probably heard me rant at least one time about how embarrassing it was for Dak Prescott years ago in the NFL Skills Challenge where he was paired with Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton just threw the ball around like you would expect from an NFL quarterback. Made it look like nothing. Dropping in the bucket down the field, hitting all the targets, doing everything, just making it look easy. Dak Prescott, man, he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. I don't know if he was wasted that day, but he just doesn't have the ability. He's having to put his whole body into it, still couldn't get it to the target. Andy Dalton just making it look easy. So, lo and behold, I didn't realize that Andy Dalton became the backup quarterback for the Cowboys. And understand, if the NFL were real, Andy Dalton would never be backing up the Cowboys because it's just plain as day to see. Andy Dalton is 100 times the quarterback that Dak Prescott is. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Go back and watch the skills challenge with those two if you got anything to say. You'll shut up real quick. Andy Dalton would never be behind Dak Prescott if the NFL were real. And, Andy Dalton came in at the end of the day, threw some bombs down the field right on the money, set the Cowboys up for a win. And I just had to look. I was like, I bet you anything, Andy Dalton's birthday is just synced right up with the Super Bowl. So sure enough, his birthday, he's going to turn 33 that magic year. Cowboys equals 33. But he's going to turn 33 October 29th, which happens to be 101 days before the last game of the 101st NFL season. And remember, there's only one team in the whole league that equals 101, and that's the Las Vegas Raiders, the brand new team this year that played their first home game on Monday Night Football, the day leaving 101 days left in the year. They made home teams 11-5 for that week by winning and upsetting the Saints, and Nevada's 115 and Raiders is 115. But look at this. I just want to take you through today's NFL games and show you how bizarre things are when you really start to see what is up. So, the Panthers and the Falcons. Teddy Bridgewater went into Atlanta today and got his 25th career win. And again, he's the Black Panther this year. Georgia, a predominantly black city that had the Rashard Brooks shooting. That Rashard Brooks shooting was 121 days before today's game, which has a square root of 11. Bridgewater got his 11th away win today. But he got his 25th away win over the Falcons, right? This stuff goes on week after week. So Bridgewater comes into town, gets his 25th career win, and his 11th away win on the 11th. Now, we saw the Raiders might upset the Chiefs today. It was through Andy Reid. Andy Reid became 86-41 as the coach, as the 86-41 as the head coach of the Chiefs, and Las Vegas equals 86-41. And notice the Chiefs fell to 4-1, and Super Bowl equals 41. And last year, Mahomes' 41st pass was the one that gave him the lead, the 26th completion at number 26, a Sunday after Kobe Bryant died on the 26th at age 41. So, Chiefs go down 4-1 today. Lakers win the finals, picking up their 41st all-time win versus the Heat. I liked the Cardinals today. Kyler Murray gave Adam Gase his 39th career loss. In the most pure cipher, only 2 states equal 39. Arizona's 39, New York's 39. And I said, the other thing I'm expecting that will probably happen, we'll see, could be wrong, but I'm thinking Adam Gase will get fired. I've seen so many New York coaches get fired in 39 rituals, so he just got his 39th loss with New York against Arizona. And again, those are the only 2 states out of 50 that sum to 39 in the most pure cipher, which is the most reliable cipher. Steelers and Eagles, you had riddles going both ways. Very iffy game. The Eagles became 1-3-1, which was like 131, the 32nd prime. NFL 32, America 32, Eagles 32. But there was some stuff on the other side. The Rams became 4-1 today. Guess who they're playing? The football team. And guess what it equals in the most pure cipher? Football team 41. LA 41. Today, 41 weeks from LeBron's age. Kobe dead at 41. Father-daughter day. Hey, now that I think of it, does the word father equal 41? Okay, so these base ciphers, you guys, there's a rule with the 19th letter in the reduction ciphers. Father does have a 19 connection. The 19th letter in reverse is H, so father does actually equal 41 as well. Got to remember the rule with the 19th letter in reduction. But you don't really need to know those things to understand enough, but you realize the finer technicalities of Gematria, you'll appreciate it even more. So father does have a 41 connection. But anyway, LA 4-1, Baltimore and 40. I mean, this is a foregone conclusion that they're going to beat the Bengals at home. And Baltimore 41, just huge number with Baltimore, just comes up all the time in sports. So they're 4-1. Today, the Texans, man, you guys, it's just amazing how they sync up sports. Today was Romeo Crennel's first game with the Texans, and it was his 116th day of his age, right? And he's an African-American. He's got the African-American quarterback, Deshaun Watson. And in Major League Baseball, there's only one African-American manager, and he's also in Houston this year because Hinch went down on January 13th, 1-1-3 for the scandal in the 113th World Series. But today was Crennel's 116th day of his age, and we've been talking about the major 116 rituals they've been doing with the Astros because this year's the year of the 116th World Series. And I said, watch Watson become 14-7 at home today because World Series is 147. And also, Houston Astros is 147. So Watson becomes 14-7 just days before the start of the World Series, which is October 20th. You know, they're paying tribute to these numbers. All the sports leagues are connected. Mookie Betts went this year to the Dodgers in the Jackie Robinson riddle. Of course, the big death with Chadwick Boseman. But okay, just to understand how this stuff is. So the game that really whooped my ass today was the Dolphins and the 49ers. this game just was like a... And I'm mad because there was huge value in taking the Dolphins today. And I should have thought more about it with the whole NBA Finals and stuff, but I thought the 49ers would win. Had Fitzpatrick lost, he would have got his 49th away loss. And normally when somebody can pick up their 49 against the 49ers, it's happening. So it's rare that this doesn't happen. Plus, the other thing that kicked me in the teeth was I've never seen a Jimmy Garoppolo 77 riddle fail before. And had the Niners won today, they would have been 7-7 against the Dolphins. Well, this is the first Jimmy Garoppolo 77 riddle I've seen fail in 4 or 5 years of documenting it. But then when they pull him from the game, 77 yards passing. And that's because the name Jimmy Garoppolo is 77, and even his nickname Jimmy G is 77. And that was a big part of the reason I like the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl last year. There were several reasons, but one of them was that if the Chiefs won, which they did, they'd be 7-7 against the 49ers. Because this number's been with Jimmy G his whole career. 77 in the most pure cipher, Jimmy G 77 with the alphabetic order. Again, those are your two most straightaway ciphers. But had the Niners won today, they would have been 7-7 versus the Dolphins, and they would have been 6-7 in the regular season, like 67 the 19th prime, and then the Niners beat the Dolphins in Super Bowl 19. So I didn't expect to get blindsided in this game, and it does happen sometimes. But when I saw the score, I was just like, okay, Lakers on, just Miami Heat 43, Lakers going for the 17th championship. Father-daughter day. And again, Clemson last night beat Miami 42-17 in college football. Just like how normally we're showing you how college basketball the night before the Super Bowl, there's some games that give away the outcome, just like we showed this year. So Texas Tech was part of the riddle. Patrick Mahomes went to Texas Tech. Again, they do this stuff year after year. It's just normally not the NBA season's not normally finishing when college football's going. So first time we've ever seen a college football tribute for the NBA Finals. But Clemson 42-17. Lakers close out 4-2 the next day over Miami because Clemson beat Miami 42-17. Next day, Lakers close out 4-2 and get the 17th championship, and 42-17 is 59 points. And what's 59? The 17th prime, like Jeannie Buss, the owner of the Lakers, because her mother's death 41 days before Kobe's death at 41. Because of her death, she's the owner now. And at age 59, the 17th prime, the Lakers get their 17th championship. And speaking of which, man, Jimmy G had 17 attempts. Oh my God, man. But yeah, so often when I'm wrong about a game, the number that I zero in on that I like for the other team, because the way you have to look at it is, okay, with Jimmy G and 77 riddles, we've probably won at least 10 times over the last 3 years when it's come up on the board, including in the Super Bowl. And if I'm not mistaken, there was already a 77 riddle this year with him before he got hurt. But anyway, so it's like, okay, when you lose on one like this, I mean, it sucks the day it happens, but it's like, okay, in reality, I've already won 10 off this, so I guess it was time to give one back. But then they slap you in the face with the 77 yards passing. And then with CJ Beathard, I'm going to show you how sick all this is. And I'm going to show you why I got extra blindsided. Do you recall that CJ Beathard, who played today, last year his brother was murdered in Tennessee on December 21st, 2019. His brother was shot to death. CJ Beathard, tragic accident. Their ancestor was a backup quarterback in Super Bowl I. But look at this. CJ Beathard's brother was killed in Tennessee, and this NFL week will be the first ever week where a game was played on a Tuesday. And what's nice about what we do on Patreon, have the call-in show where I give people a chance to call in, share their thoughts, is we're a community. And there's people who know things that I don't know. So for this week's NFL show, a gentleman called in and he said, Zach, I know why they're having the Titans play on Tuesday night. He said, you're always talking about how they sync up the WWE and NFL. Well, there used to be a WWE show called the Tuesday Night Titans. I said, wow. Okay, now we're on to something. So we went back and looked. And the Tuesday Night Titans lasted 2 years. And the 2 years that it existed, there were 2 Super Bowls played in that time. One was the Niners and the Dolphins. And the Niners smoked the Dolphins in Super Bowl 19. So I was thinking, okay, Niners become 6-7 in the regular season versus the Dolphins this week. 67 the 19th prime. 7-7 overall, that Jimmy G number that always comes through until this week. And the other Super Bowl was the Bears beating the Patriots. The year they won 46-10 with the revolutionary 4-6 defense. Now, this week's game, Sunday or Thursday Night Football, where the Bears beat Tom Brady, who represents the Patriots, Tom Brady picked up his 46th road loss in that game, and Chicago equals 46 and Thursday 46. So it's like, okay, that's interesting. So they started with the Bears tribute, kind of to beating the Patriots in the years of Tuesday Night Titans. So that had me feeling even extra confident in the 49ers. Like, okay, so we already seen this Super Bowl riddle, so they got to do this one with the Niners. Well, they didn't, right? But instead they did something that was related to championships. And who hosted the Super Bowl last year? Miami, right? Miami hosted the Super Bowl. The 49ers lost in it. The Joe Montana Bowl. Joe Montana equals 54. He wore 19 for the Chiefs, 16 for the Niners. The Chiefs won the 2019 season in the Joe Montana Bowl. And so anyway, you have to, this stuff that they do, it's riddles, it's tributes, and when you look at it, you see it's a puzzle, and you're trying to understand what they're doing. And again, there's some major clues this week. Yet again, the Saints are also playing on Columbus Day. Remember the last time the Saints played on Columbus Day, they beat the Redskins 43-19? That was in 2018, 2 years ago. They beat the Redskins 43-19, and that day the Indians and Braves were eliminated from the postseason, and the Braves were beat 6-2. Like there were 62 points in the Monday night game, and the Redskins, the Indians, and the Braves all lost. Genocide equals 62. So 6-2 and 62 total points. Tribute to history. Columbus Day. The Catholic Church paid for Columbus. Again, the Catholics and Jesuits running it. The Saints. The Catholic symbolism. But notice Drew Brees playing his old team where they got Justin Herbert coming up. LA 1-3, LA 13. But the Cowboys won today. I like the Cowboys to win because Dak, he got his 25th career win today. He got credited with the win. Giants equals 25. Again, Giants and 25, just so consistent. Something I documented in the notes is I was asking myself if this game could be a tribute to tonight's NBA game. Because remember, Dallas is 41-13, and LA is 41-13. They have these rituals between these cities, paying tribute to these numbers. And I noticed that the last time the Giants won in Dallas was exactly 213 weeks before today's game. That didn't make me think the Giants would win. I still liked Dallas to win, but I just thought that was so interesting that that would be the measurement on the day of the potential closeout game in the NBA Finals. So the Giants last won in Dallas 213 weeks before today, and I was going, man, there's going to be something significant in that Dallas game that relates to the finals. And notice the Cowboys win with 37 points. Los Angeles 37, Bryant 37. And again, the rituals. The Dallas Cowboys season began against LA in a Giant 13 ritual. That Sunday Night Football game, week 1. Remember, for the whole hype before Thursday Night Football, they were talking about the Chiefs and Texans game, but then they were really hyping that Sunday night game. LA and Dallas, Cowboys, Chiefs. And the announcers were big on the Cowboys and Chiefs winning. Cowboys didn't win that game. They lost to LA in a 13 riddle. LA got their 13th win against Dallas on the 13th. When both cities have the 13 connection, the game ended with the offensive pass interference call against number 13, just like how tonight number 13 for the Cowboys put away the game on a big catch from Dalton on a perfect pass. But again, this is how they do it, you guys. It's the Jesuits. They control all of the world of sports. They got this stuff scripted, planned, executed. But then there's also another part of me that's just looking at it and going, the more and more I watch this, the more and more magical it feels. Like, how the hell does Dak Prescott, again, break his leg in the worst injury to a QB in the NFL since Alex Smith on the day that Alex Smith returns by the numbers, which is another Cowboys and Indians theme. And that's what we were saying week 1. We're saying they're really bringing emphasis to the Cowboys and the Chiefs, like Cowboys and Indians. And the opening game is Chiefs and Houston Texans, when in history there used to be a Dallas Texans team that became the Kansas City Chiefs. And again, just to remind you guys what they did with that game, it was September 10th, the day leaving 112 days left in the year. Chiefs is 112, Super Bowl's 112. Remember, The Rock bought the Chiefs in the TV show Ballers 112 days before the Super Bowl that the Chiefs won. And Houston's 112, and so was Harden, but Houston 112. And they played the Black National Anthem that day, which equals 112. And September 10th leaves 112 days left in the year. And it was Thursday Night Football, which is another 112. So this huge 112 ritual. And again, that's a number that has a connection to the Super Bowl. And Dak wears 4 and Deshaun Watson wears 4. But now you got Andy Dalton on the Cowboys, and you got, Patrick Mahomes still on the Chiefs. And by the way, Patrick Mahomes fell to 4-1 today, and Dallas is 41. And I'll tell you what, pay attention to what happens in this Bills-Titans game, because if you're somewhat fluent in Gematria and you follow a little bit of what I'm saying, the Bills have some Super Bowl history with the Cowboys. And again, Dallas is 41, and that's been a big number this week, 41. Okay, but yeah, it's a scripted league. Russell Wilson tonight. Okay, he won. I got nervous tonight because I told people yesterday I like the Seahawks to win this game, and they did. And but man, I got a little bit worried about it because Wilson tonight got his 91st win. Vikings is 91. And Cousins got his 48th loss. Seahawks is 48. So you had a riddle for Wilson to win and Cousins to lose. But what can be tricky is Cousins also had a chance to get his 19th away regular season win in this game. But since Wilson had the riddle to win and Cousins had the riddle to win and lose, I was like, okay, it looks better for Wilson, but they've been doing these riddles with the black and white quarterbacks. And again, here, to explain. Week 1 of the NFL season, Sunday, the Sunday games were on a date with 62 numerology. And again, George Floyd has been this catalyst for Black Lives Matter and all these sports-related rituals. But we saw that the first games of the first Sunday, there were 8 black quarterbacks facing 8 white quarterbacks in matchups. And we saw it was a 62-date numerology. And lo and behold, by the end of the day, black quarterbacks were 6-2 versus white quarterbacks. The only 2 that lost were Dak Prescott and Teddy Bridgewater, which was weird because he had the Black Panther symbolism. But Floyd equals 62. And, of course, Minneapolis is 62. And Riot is 62. And like we told you, the George Floyd thing would be synced with the Lakers championship as well, which it is. And anyway, they were 6-2 week 1. And, there's just been riddles week after week with the coaches and the quarterbacks, black versus white, and the coaches. Last week, white coaches. You see how white is 65 and Florida is 65? Last week, white coaches became 6-5 versus black coaches on okay. So coming into last week, white coaches were 4-5 versus black coaches. And there were only 2 games last week where it was a white coach versus a black coach. And in those games, they were both being played in Florida. And we said, look at that. If both white coaches win this week, which was Arians and Carroll, we said white coaches will be 6-5 versus black coaches in Florida, too. And Florida's 65 and white's 65. And, of course, Black Lives Matter's 56. And the black coaches fell to 5-6 versus white coaches. But, again, just understand, you guys, this stuff is not an accident. These are scripted rituals. And how exactly they're achieving it, I wonder a little bit more year after year watching some of these things happen. But the point is they're doing it. So I liked Wilson to win, but I did tell my people before this game, I said, if you're big on the Seahawks, you might want to hedge a little bit with the Vikings. I hate to do this, but there just became danger because had Russell Wilson lost tonight, black quarterbacks would have been 5-2 versus white quarterbacks this week, and I'm almost surprised they didn't do it. The Seahawks didn't cover the spread, but had Russell Wilson lost, they would have been 5-2. Instead, he made black quarterbacks 6-1 on the 61-date numerology that the finals ended, and I did mention, I said that's possible too. I said, because again, the black quarterbacks would follow the date numerology. On the week where they could become 6-2 on the 62 date, and they did, today it was 61 date numerology, and they had a chance to become 6-1. And Again, today, if you just bet on the black quarterbacks, you had a great day. You went 6-1. The only game that got you was Patrick Mahomes, and we saw that there could be an upset there. Andy Reid had a decent riddle to lose. But this is the value of this knowledge. It allows you to, first of all, as a fan, it allows you to release yourself. A lot of fans who find my work, the favorite thing they found is they're like, you know what? I finally don't care about sports. I lost the emotional attachment. And it's better because I'm not all stressed out during the sports season. I'm not all anxious during the games. I'm not just sitting there glued to the TV. Now I kind of just sit back and laugh at it. And that's how it should be for everyone. These games should not be stealing your time and energy and your emotions. These games are rigged. And for years, people have debated how it's done. I've thought, well, the refs are there making the bogus calls to ensure outcomes. You got these overpaid players, these overpaid coaches. You just see how some games just look totally by the script. But there's also been some weird things that have happened, from the Alex Smith injury to the way Virginia fulfilled what I said would happen and won the college championship 2 years ago over Texas Tech. For people who weren't here then, there was a story that came out about the lieutenant governor of Virginia, Justin Fairfax, the day before Virginia played Duke. And we saw how the story was that he raped a woman while he was a student at Duke years earlier. And I said, really, this story comes out in February, Black History Month, the day before Virginia plays Duke. And I said, look at this. Justin Fairfax, here, I'll just put up here. I still remember. His name equals 59 and 85. And I said, look at this. Today's news story is 59 days before the championship. And what do we know about March Madness in 85? The first March Madness was in 85. Basketball equals 85. The Jesuit motto, Isus Hominum Salvator, equals 85. The first March Madness with Catholic Villanova over Jesuit Georgetown. And anyway, Justin Fairfax, we said, look at that. 59 days before the championship. His name's 59 and 85. 85 is a basketball number, a March Madness number. And go back and look at the box score. Virginia beat Texas Tech with 85 points, taking 59 shots from the floor. And honestly, I mean, for them to do this stuff year after year as they do, it's just mind-boggling. It's like, how's it even possible? But I still remember I felt real bad. Virginia, it looked like they were definitely going to lose in the tournament before they even got to the championship, and I was mad. I know not to get mad, but I got mad because I told people Virginia was going to win the championship and how good they looked, especially once the tournament bracket was set, because I still remember their coach, Tony Bennett, what a name. But you see how Virginia, hold on, let me spell it right. Virginia, you see how it's 89, and Virginia Cavaliers is 89? Tony Bennett went into that tournament on 89 losses. So I said, see, he's not going to lose either. This is all synced up with Justin Fairfax. Now he's on 89 losses coming in the tournament. He's not losing. He's winning this championship. And he did. But there was a game, and it was, I can't remember if it was in the Elite Eight or it wasn't the Final Four. I think it was the Elite Eight, maybe the Sweet 16. There was a game that I still can't believe Virginia won. There was like no time left. The ball got knocked out. The point guard had to go chase the ball, grab it, fire it down the court like a football. The big tall guy with the bleach hair grabbed it and threw it in the hoop as the time expired. And I was like, oh my God. Like, really? My people are, some people who are here are still probably going to leave the same comment they left 2 years ago. They're like, they could have scripted that, but I don't know, you guys. That was just, I mean, there was no room for any error. And that was just the level of difficulty to run down the court, grab the ball, heave it the length of the court. The big tall guy jumps up and grabs it and throws it in all in one motion. I was just like, well, thank God, man. I had Virginia winning this thing. They can't go out. And they didn't go out. But I still, when I look back at that game, I'm just like, how do they do it? And you see how Virginia Cavaliers is 118, Texas Tech Red Raiders got that 118. There was a lot of 118 stuff going on that year. Patriots had just won the Super Bowl 53. Patriots 118, Tom Brady 118. I forget everything else. But the 118, it was a number all over at the place at the time. But okay, it wasn't, it doesn't matter. I think what I'll do is open up the phone line. And actually, before I do that, before I take some calls, again, if you guys are new here, if you go to my channel, so your channel, you guys can click on this videos tab. You click on videos, and then you sort by oldest. Why LeBron James went to the Lakers July 1st. Oh hell, we're this far into it. Let's watch the beginning of it. I know it's not too deep into the video where I start explaining LeBron in his 17th season at age 35. Here we go.
Said he went there for 154 million, and that wasn't an accident or a typo.
Hold on. Why is it there? And why can't I scroll up and down? Alright, so this video was uploaded July 13th, 2018. I posted on my blog at the time, July 1st, the same thing that I told here. It's just I moved on July 1st from my old house near Seattle to where I live now in the middle of the state in Washington. And it's the same room I'm in now. It's just there's no bookshelf back there. I just moved in, and I just got an internet connection. So it took like 10 days for the guy to come out and set up the internet after I moved in. And this was the first video I uploaded. I wanted to talk about LeBron going to the Lakers on July 1st. So here we'll watch a little bit of this, just what I said back then. And
I'm Zachary K. Hubbard. This is Gematria Effect Sports. Used to have a very popular YouTube channel. It was deleted June of 2017 by Google. Since then, I've tried to create a number of channels. They've all been censored. I'm now on a new IP address, have a new phone number attached to this account. Going to try to create a channel that remains. So be sure to subscribe. This is Gematria Effect Sports. There's going to be many posts to come. I'll also have another channel, GematriaEffectNews. News stories on that channel, sports-related stories on this channel. And that way, if they take down one of the channels, the other one will hopefully remain. So, for the first video, Gematria Effect Sports, let's talk about LeBron James going to the Los Angeles Lakers July 1st and why that happened before the Lakers' 71st NBA season. If you're new here, what I have been proving since 2013 is how the world of sports and more is truly scripted by a code. From what happens on the field to what happens off the field in terms of what's presented to mainstream audiences through television and radio. There are no exceptions to this rule. If you learn this code, you will see sports with an entirely different lens for the rest of your life. So, follow. This is very simple to learn, very intuitive. I will explain it as clearly as possible. If you want more information, I'm going to show you at the end of this video what you can get for just $5 that will truly provide more knowledge to you than any 4-year, several $1,000 college education. And that is a guarantee.
And you know what? That sounds like a really big claim, doesn't it? A $5 book. But realize, let me show you what I'm talking about with this $5. You don't get this physical book, but this is what's in my ebook. My ebook is massive, and you get it for $5. And lately I've been giving it to my Patreons for $1, so you can actually get it for $1 now. But there's so much information that's undeniable in this book that tells you what's really going on. Including, in this book, it's all about Kobe's career, the numbers 41, 157, 58, 113. He dies by the exact numbers, you know? Again, it's undeniable what's going on. And so for anyone who gaffes at such a statement, please, most of you went to college, you spent a bunch of money, and what do you have to show for it? You want your money back, you want your time back. You're probably not even using your degree. People put Gematria to work every day, so I will back up that claim. And by the way, when I open up the phone line, I would appreciate if the normal callers didn't call in right away. If there's people out there that think this is all a coincidence, I would love for them to call in because I always love Comedy Hour. So when I first open up the phone lines, when I do it in just a few minutes, don't call in if you're a regular. Let's see if some critics or skeptics or coincidence theorists want to call in. But hold on. Let's just play a few more minutes of this.
No gimmicks. So, right here. Why did LeBron James go to the Lakers July 1st? I want to remind people, it was reported that he went there for a $153.3 million 3-year deal. Little more than $50 million a year, but the big...
And let me pause right there. I realized I did a correction video after I finished this one that it was a 4-year deal, and then that really opened my mind up to something, which is the follow-up video that I posted a few days after this. So it was a 4-year deal, but Well, and again, he brings home the fourth ring, too. In Orlando, where Kobe brought home his fourth ring. After a weekend of Tom Brady, who couldn't supposedly remember what down it was, he wanted a fifth down in week 5. His game finishes on 41 attempts, like LeBron's season finishes 41 weeks after his 35th birthday.
Big number here is 153 million. The number 153 is the 17th triangular number. That means if you add 1 through 17 together, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 up to plus 17, it equals 153. And 17 is a very special number to the NBA and LeBron James and more. There's a language called Gematria. It's the ancient practice of coding numbers into words. It's very important to two groups of people: Jewish people and Freemasons. If you think about the NBA, think about who's run the league from its beginning. Jewish people, no secret. And if you go back and look, Naismith, who's credited with the game of basketball, was a Freemason. So was Abner Doubleday, who's credited with Major League Baseball. So was Walter Camp, who's credited with American football. Freemasonry, Judaism, American sports, they go together, hand in hand. You know? So this code, this is who it's important to. But NBA, just taking the alphabetic order, N's the 14th letter, B's the second, A's the first. 14 plus 2 plus 1 is 17. Now LeBron James, just like Steph Curry, both born in Ohio, the 17th state in order of statehood. And the Cleveland Cavaliers, the team from Ohio, they were the 17th team to join the NBA. So LeBron James goes from Ohio to the Lakers on July 1st, a date that can be written 1/7, like 17 as it is in the majority of the world, or 7/1 like 71. And this comes before the Lakers' 71st NBA season. Reflections of numbers. Think of them as equivalents in this language. And understand this language of letters and numbers goes back to Hebrew, where you read from right to left. So if you write 17 in English, we see that as 17. In Hebrew, you would read 17 as 71. Reflections. With regards to 17 and the Lakers, their next championship will be their 17th all-time. The Lakers have won 16. They trail the Celtics, who've won the most, who've won 17, like how NBA equals 17. You know, over in Major League Baseball, the Yankees have won 27. M plus L plus B is 13 plus 12 plus 2, 27. The word baseball also has gematria of 27. And we'll talk more about these ciphers as we go. But 17, very special number, biblical number that symbolizes God, and we'll elaborate more on that. The word Mason equals 17, and modern masonry began in 1717. The date June 24th in London. So 17, it's bigger than the NBA. It's bigger than basketball. It's a very symbolic number. This code of letters and numbers is biblical. 17 is a number that symbolizes God. We'll talk more about that. With regards to all this focus on 17, LeBron's upcoming NBA season is going to be his 16th, and then the following will be his 17th. He's going to be 35 years old for his 17th season. King James equals 35. And I won't be surprised at all if LeBron James brings home championship number 17 for the Lakers in his 17th season in light of this July 1st 1/7 signing.
Okay, so the only thing that would have made that better is if I would have said, and Kobe Bryant's going to die on the 2-year anniversary of the Black Mamba jersey, and the NBA Finals will be suspended because of coronavirus, and then they'll resume the season so it can end on Father-Daughter Day. But sorry, I'm not that good yet. So anyway, it's just a joke, you guys. And again, on GematriaEffectNews, I literally put together a video for that channel about the black-owned bank, Killer Mike's new black-owned bank, Greenwood and LeBron James Father Day ritual. You know, this is 6 hours ago, so well before the NBA Finals started. But again, I just go all over 106. 106 is the big part of that video, and boom, 106. Man. Okay. Now I am going to open the phone lines, and again, regulars, I appreciate the regulars. You guys can call in, but not at first. Don't call in at first. Try not to call in unless you're a critic. I want to hear some critic call in. I want to hear somebody say it's a coincidence. Oh man, I should have had some of those special gummies. But anyway, let's see. I guess it's not too late. Let's see. All right, the phone line is open, and hopefully it works. It's been giving me some trouble lately. But let's see. If you guys want to call in, it's 509-560-4982. If you want to get a book, I should read some of this book from the Kobe Bryant death chapter. The Kobe Bryant death chapter will just blow your mind. It's way better than any video I did. But, you know. If you do want to get the book, though, GematriaEffectNews is my website. Or if you go to Amazon and search my name, Zachary K. Hubbard, it releases in 2 days. Caller?
Zachary, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
It's Alex from Wisconsin.
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much. Been following your work for a while, man, since like 2015.
Awesome. Well, it doesn't sound like you called in to debate then.
I mean, I've seen enough bullshit debates recently, you know, like.
Well, I'm just always looking for the critics out there. I don't understand why the whole world doesn't talk about this knowledge and all the correct predictions over the years. It's like, did anyone else call the Lakers to win in LeBron's 17th season the day he signed? So.
Yeah, man, like, you pretty much knew the Lakers are going to win it all this year as soon as Kobe died.
Well, not when Kobe died. No. Not when Kobe died. We put out the video when LeBron signed with the Lakers, July 2018. We knew LeBron was winning.
Okay.
We told everybody LeBron's year before Kobe died, man. No, so not when Kobe died. When Kobe died, we just said, oh, this just fits into what we've been talking about. This is the big ritual.
That was just a ritual for, you know, whether you already know.
Yeah. So anyway, all right, man. Appreciate the call. Okay. Again, I asked for people to call in, not who are regulars, but also I don't need that call. He's just not paying attention. We knew the Lakers were going to win when Kobe died? No. We knew the Lakers were going to win before the season even began, and we knew it when LeBron signed in 2018. We said Lakers win the finals this year, not when Kobe died. No. Are there any critics out there? Are there any Gematria coincidence theorists? That's who I want to hear from. Caller.
Hey, man. I know you got some good stuff. This is Mac, man, from Houston, Texas.
Okay. You got to mute the video. When you guys call in, you got to mute the video. It's on delay. So you're going to hear like a 30-second delay. You got to mute the video and then call in.
I got to what the video and then call in?
Mute it.
Okay, mute the video. Well, I was just letting you know, man. ESPN put out a highlight on YouTube, man. It was 5 minutes, and the number was 613. I wanted to see if you can look something into that. I'm not good with the numbers. And also, I looked at the score right after halftime in the third quarter. I seen 66 to 36. I thought that was pretty funny, so I knew you know what them numbers mean.
Yeah. So, what was the thing about 613 though? A commercial? They just put the number 613 in there? Is that what you said?
The commercial had 613 in it.
Is that somebody's area code? That was the NBA's advertising campaign. Area codes. Well, 613 is Ottawa, so I don't know why they'd be doing that. But I'll have to think about it. 13's the sixth prime. LeBron wore 6 with the Heat, 6 games. He's going to number 6 again next year. That might be right, because 13's the sixth prime, 613. So.
Okay. Well, yeah, man. This is just Matt from Houston, Texas, with 50 Fathers, man. We've been checking you out because you seem to be on point with a lot of things, and we starting to see a lot of fixes when it comes to this sports arena and all these perfect plays and all these, I don't know, it just seems like it's all fixed and they all kind of just,
Here's how fixed it is. Here's how fixed it is, man. Let me make sure I'm adding this up right. 25 plus 12 is 37, plus 12 more is 49, plus 10 is 59, plus 7 is 66. Yeah, the Heat starters scored 66 points tonight, man. Lakers is 66, LeBron is 66, LeBron James is 66. LeBron's last game with the Cavs against the Lakers, it was both teams' 66th game. And that's what I said in July 2018. I said LeBron wins this year and becomes 4-6, and where do you think he's going? So... He's going to 6-6 is where he's going. So.
Hey, and then the tricked out thing about the ESPN put that highlight reel on YouTube. It was like a 5-minute segment or whatever.
Okay. So
it didn't come from nobody that took their highlights and put it on their channel. It comes straight from ESPN. So that's why I called you and told you about it.
Okay. But yeah, the starter scored 66 points in tribute to LeBron and the Lakers. That's just how scripted it all is. And the Lakers starter scores 79 points, and LeBron Raymond James is 79, just like Society of Jesus, and that's who birthed and made this man what he is. I'm telling you, LeBron James was born and bred to be. This whole thing was scripted for him from the moment he was born, because he was the one born for the planned agenda. So,
wow.
That's how it is.
Me and my cousin were just talking about King James Sunday. We were talking about why the game didn't win Friday, and we would say, well, it's not right for it to win Friday. Everybody's going to be hyped up Sunday, and it'll be King James Sunday, and he'll take it home. And
right, and just like Kobe died on a Sunday, exactly 37 weeks ago. Bryant in Los Angeles, 37. So, yep.
Oh man. Well, man, we're gonna keep on with you, man, and you keep on putting your number out there so we could put other people on to you.
All right, appreciate it, man. You take care.
Like the game tonight was just a little bit. I was watching the Russell Wilson game. How long it took Minnesota to score that touchdown, man? They had the ball for almost 10 minutes and did not score. Come on, you on the radio.
Well, I'm glad the Seahawks won, because I told people yesterday they were going to win, so helps me out. But yeah, it's all scripted, man.
Man,
you gotta... Go ahead.
All right, brother.
What were you gonna say?
No, I say if you look at the score was 21-25. It was 3 minutes left, or 3-something minutes left. Minnesota had the ball. They had it maybe at the 50 or 40. They got it down to the 20, 15, somewhere around there. And that last 5 minutes, just on the TV segment, they just kept running the ball, and they finally get the ball to fourth down, and they couldn't get the first down, and then Seattle took over. Me and my cousin had a bet, and he was like, I bet you Russell Wilson will win. I said, nah, they're not going to win. I said, don't you see the score right now? How much time left? He said, watch they win. And damn sure they won.
Yeah, Russell Wilson, he doesn't lose much on primetime, so, yeah.
Oh, ain't that right? Okay.
And again, tonight, Russell Wilson got his 91st win. Vikings is 91. Kirk Cousins got his 48th loss. Seahawks is 48. Seahawks only won one Super Bowl. They won Super Bowl 48. So those numbers play for those teams. And again, usually when it lines up like that on both sides for a quarterback, that's usually the way it goes. So. All right. Appreciate it, gentlemen. You have a good night.
Appreciate it too, man. This is 50 Fathers, man, and Mac. We in Houston, man. We'll be looking into you.
All right, appreciate that. Take care.
Call from.
What's up, Washington State?
Hello.
Hello.
Are you mentally ill?
Well, are you trolling?
Fucking asshole.
Are you trolling? So do you think it's mental illness to correctly? Okay. I'll let you talk, but I got to make my point. Okay. So what have I demonstrated tonight that's mentally ill by saying 2 years ago that LeBron would win in his 17th season in a clear 17 riddle? What about that spells mental illness to you?
Are you taking some kind of drugs or drinking?
Nope.
You fucking asshole.
Honestly, you kind of sound like...
Amateur.
It sounds like you might have mental illness, honestly. You're just calling in, just saying random statements, no logical thought, couldn't answer a simple question. So tell me, what is the relevant of... he hung up. But isn't that America right there? I mean, that's probably a real American. He's probably butthurt Miami Heat fan or something, but... or a Lakers fan, who knows. But... doesn't that just sound like the idiot masses, the same ones that still think these games are real? They just call everything mental illness that's factual. It's like... Anyway. Pretty pathetic caller. But again, who's still believing in sports? Only the most pathetic. Pro sports have been an entire joke for all of my lifetime, and I've seen it since I was a little child. So... What's wrong with everybody else is the real question. I don't like to say people are mentally ill, but I find most people to be very mentally deficient.
Press 1.
What's up, caller?
Yeah, hello?
Hello?
Yeah, well, I just have something to add, some more proof of the script. I don't know what that last caller was going on. I mean, it was kind of crazy.
Yeah, sounded like a loser.
But yeah, so on this day, well, I'm on the East Coast now, so, yesterday, 24 years ago, to the day, was the same day that Kobe Bryant dressed up for his first preseason game.
Oh, today, 24 years to the day, first preseason. Because exactly, that's what's normally going on right now, the preseason. So, number 24. LeBron's 24th tattoo was the Black Mamba tattoo after his death. That was a big news story. Amazing. Amazing.
Yep, it's just crazy how they do it.
And today leaves 81 days left in the year. Kobe Bean Bryant, 81. Ritual, 81. Career high, 81 points. So Kobe's first game in the preseason on the day, leaving 81 days left in the year. How about that?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Going on about the whole Jesuits and like how they're just so strictly based on time, do you think that it's because they probably, invented it?
The concept of time?
Yeah.
Well, that's a thought as they knew it. I mean, that's an interesting thought. So, possibly.
All right, well, that's pretty much all I had.
All right, well, it was a great thought. I appreciate it. So,
all right, thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah, see you. Again, Kobe Bean Bryant, 243 and 81. He died 243 days after Jerry West's 81st birthday, who's the logo of the NBA, dead the weekend before Super Bowl 54. He was 41. His daughter was 13, added up 54. Gianna Bryant's also 54. Died 135 days before Kanye West's birthday. He's in the Black Mamba film with Kanye West that ends with the exploding helicopter. Today leaves 81 days left in the year. What's up, caller? Oh, more clever trolling. All right, the critics got to do better. The critics got to do better. So. It's too bad. I mean, the reality is the only people I think who watch my videos and hate on them are the trolls. The people who really need this work, it's just that they don't even go on YouTube for information. They're like, oh, I don't get my information off the internet. I just watch ESPN and the nightly news. It's like, oh, okay. The marks of a genius. I don't believe stuff on YouTube. I don't watch YouTube videos. Just watch the news.
From
Caller?
Hey, Zach, it's John from Philadelphia. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, man?
I just wanted to say a couple things real quick. The guy that called earlier that was cursing you out and stuff, this is what these people don't want to do. They don't want to come to your face and debate you when you give them the forum to go back and forth to try to educate them. They want to curse you out and hang up and do all this other stuff. Also, I want to say is, today Dan Quinn was fired. In Gematria, it came out into the reverse full reduction. It was 41.
Oh, sure. And he came over from the Seahawks, too. And yeah. So, see if Adam Gase
So
is next.
I just want to point that out and stuff like that, man. But I just want to point out that that's why you can't get nobody to debate you on here. Nobody has either they're going to curse you out or something like that, or they won't let you talk, or they want to take over the whole conversation. So it's a new. I mean, you do what you have to do to try to educate them, but it's hard when they don't want to accept the fact that you're telling the truth. So they're going to try to overtalk you or curse you out or whatever like that. That's all I really wanted to say.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Take care.
From
Caller?
A friend of yours asked me to give you a call and pass this along. You're awesome.
Oh, is that a recording?
Yep. You. Awesome.
That sounds
Top
like a
of the
recording.
heap, best of the best. And you know what else? Not just your friends, but everyone else, other friends, family, all of them agree. You are awesome.
Well, that's a new kind of trolling. All right. Appreciate
No
it.
need to thank me. I'm just doing my job. Can I thank you for being so awesome?
Are you not a recording? If you're not a recording.
Great. Means a lot to get appreciation from someone as awesome
Okay,
as
I gotta move on. It's
Call
interesting,
from-
but if that's not a recording, they're doing a good job. What's up, caller?
What's going on, Zach?
Hey, man.
You're truly awesome, man.
Apparently.
I just wanted to see if... Hold on. I muted myself. Yeah, I muted the video. I just wanted to see if you could go back to your video that you made like 2 days ago. In the comments, I dropped a comment in there that like shows the flashback why LeBron James went to the Lakers. It's a comment that started with Zach. I think the Heat won today. I had like some points in there that that I made, and I also saw that you started to make them as well. But one that I found that really was like shocking to me when they actually presented it, because I thought the most valuable, the MVP award, gonna go to AD, but it went to James, and most valuable player is 220. And today is 2 months and 20 days from LeBron James' birthday.
Interesting. Yeah. Also his 260th day of his age and 260th playoff game. It's amazing. Year after year, it's perfectly synced. And really, ultimately, what that should show people is that the whole coronavirus thing's a big joke, too, which we've been saying. Because for all this to line up the way they did it, it just all has to be a perfectly planned ritual, from the rigged sports games to the rigged news. And that's really what I want people to understand, is that all of this is a rigged circus to control humanity. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, great research,
Yeah,
man.
and even the Lakers won their 16th game, so they were 16-5, which is like 65, like pandemic year they're at, linking that together.
Right.
And then on top of that, yeah.
I was going to say, yeah, right, exactly. They become 4-6 the year of the virus 46, so, yeah.
Yeah. And to the 81, like how we were talking about 81, it's 81 days from his birthday and stuff. Los Angeles champions is 81. Obviously, Kobe being Bryant, we already know that. And then if you put like NBA Finals 10/11, that equals 81 too.
Good research. Appreciate it, man.
It's just, thanks, man. It's actually, I actually started watching your channel when you made that video, the one with when LeBron went to the Lakers. So it's been quite a while now. Like, I just noticed that. Like,
Some riddles are a lot easier to understand than others in sports, but the big 17 thing on 1/7, that's just too easy with the NBA. They gave us a freebie with that one, so.
for sure. And if you go back to the like Kansas City game and Raiders game, it's funny the score that the Chiefs got, 32, because Chiefs is 32 and so is Kansas City, 32. I just saw their record for now and I was like,
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna lose today and they're gonna fall 4-1.
Yeah. All right, man.
Okay. But yeah, man.
Appreciate it. Have a good
Have a
one.
good one.
See you.
Call from
Caller? Oh, are we doing more trolling?
asshole. I've got your phone number, and I'm going to wring your fucking neck.
Well, what's the point of trolling? Is it a job? Are you paid to troll?
They're calling law enforcement and really showing that.
Okay.
Call from.
There is a pack of trolls that have
Minnesota.
like literally worked around me
Except
24/7, 365, just harassing this community. What's up, caller?
Hey, Zach.
Hey.
What's going on? I've been watching you for a few months now about this work, and it's really great what you're doing. But I'm just trying to figure out, like, how rigged is it? Like, how scripted is it? Like, is like every player in on the script that's on the floor? Like, I know LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
Okay, so
like that,
again,
but
let's talk deeper about this. But again, just look at the way the Raptors season ended. I mean, everyone should see that the games are rigged. Fred VanVleet dribbled out the clock when they needed 2 possessions. How can you do that at the end of your NBA season? If you watch the Yankees season, hold on, let me talk when you ask a question. You asked the Yankees season just ended. How did it end? It ended with Mike Stanton, one of the best hitters in baseball history, standing at the plate with a sour look on his face, with his bat on his shoulder, looking like he has no interest in swinging his bat. He watches 3 pitches go right over the plate for strikes and strikes out as his team goes down. Doesn't even make an effort to swing the bat. It's the same stuff year after year. You watch these impossible things, so the players have to be in on it. Now, is there things that are more complicated going on that we don't know about? Is MK Ultra going on with the players? George Springer, the other year when he won the World Series, he was the first player interviewed, and they asked him what it felt like to win the World Series, and his response was, honestly, I can't remember anything. I'm blacked out. And I was like, whoa. Dude,
I remember that.
So, like, what's really going on with these players? Are they under some kind of mind control and hypnosis? It's possible. I mean, but there's obviously something going on. How does Alex Smith bust his leg in a perfect ritual that seems magical? He returns, and Dak Prescott from the same division has the worst leg injury to a quarterback since Alex Smith's injury on the day he returns by the numbers. So
Really, on the day?
yeah, we even predicted Alex Smith would return today, and he did. And Dak Prescott has the worst leg injury in football since Alex Smith's leg injury, exactly 99 weeks earlier. And yeah, so how is this stuff going on? It's like magic.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh my god. And it's like the same way with everything else, like everything in the news, like entertainment, politics, all that stuff. Like, they're all in on the script, and I feel like they're just like playing us like fools, because like everybody that goes out there and votes, man, like, they think they're the ones that are actually like putting who's in office, like when they already have somebody picked out. You know what I mean?
That's the whole point of this work, you guys. The whole point of this work. I already saw through all this stuff way before I knew about Gematria. I knew politics was bullshit. The elections were rigged. I mean, everybody shouldn't have known that in 2000. I don't. It's like, were there any adults alive in 2000? Was I the oldest, wisest person in the world as a 17-year-old during the 2000 election? Because everybody should have known after then the elections are all bullshit. In 2004. They made it even worse. They made it 2 Skull and Bones members running against each other, a fraternity that allows 15 people per year. I mean, they put this stuff, and they told you that on Meet the Press, on NBC, on Sunday, one of the most watched news programs in the nation.
Yeah.
So they're putting this out there in front of people, and they're expecting these people to just go on and not put 2 and 2 together. Okay, 2000. George W. Bush wins the election, the first Republican since his father, who was the last Republican president, in the state where his brother's the governor. Just a huge joke. 2004, Skull and Bones. 2008, Barack Obama, 10 years after Tupac's songs changes, and 44 years after the Civil Rights Act is number 44. And then they have him run against Mitt Romney in 2012, the Mormon, where the Mormon religion says the closer you get to God, the whiter your skin becomes. I mean, that's obviously just another sick racial joke. All of a sudden, when Obama's president, all of a sudden the media starts trying to divide people amongst race in the ways they haven't done for decades. I mean, all this stuff is a mockery. And it's just such a show, and it's so obvious, and people just fall for it, and it just couldn't look any more rigged than it is. And even if you start arguing with people who think the stuff's halfway real, they'll still say, like, yeah, sure, the refs do blow the games all the time. And just right there, why do they even accept that? Again, I'll make the point. If you want to be a varsity-level high school ref, you have to do a damn good job as a ref to get to that varsity level. These professional officials are the worst in the business. How's it even possible that they're on the stage as bad as they are? Again, it's just everything is just in your face, and people don't want to see it. So
it's right there in front of you, man. Like, the riddles are right there, and like, I tried to tell my friend this the other day, and it's like, and they still refuse to believe it. Like, it's unbelievable. All
these 7-foot black men who don't know who their dads are. It's because all their dads are the former players in the league. LeBron James is the son of Nate Thurman. Jimmy Butler's probably the son of Michael Jordan. It's just and they probably have 4 or 5 sons in the league each. When LeBron James was young, when he was first in the league, and Andre Iguodala was still at Arizona playing college basketball, I was always saying to everybody, I say, don't they look kind of alike? And they're 2 huge basketball stars right now. I was like, they're very similar. I mean, and look at it. They set a record for the most finals faced against opponents so many years in a row, Iguodala and LeBron. And just like all these years I've just been looking at this stuff. Yeah. I've been saying LeBron and Iguodala seem to be attached for the last 20 years. And anyway.
Yeah, honestly, dude. You got to think about, like, these NBA players are like 6 foot, 6'10", like 7 feet tall. You got to think about, if you're walking up and down the street, like, how many people that you're going to see that are like 6'8" and 6'10" and 7 feet. Like, not many. And if one, like, in your lifetime, like, you got to
in my lifetime, the tallest person I've ever met was 6'9". He was a big goofy white guy. He tried to play college basketball. He said he sucked. He's just a big guy. They wanted him on the team. But he's the only. I mean, you know, most big people are like 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", but 6'7", 8'9", 10". I mean, yeah, exactly. You might meet one of these people outside of a sports arena in your regular life. I mean, we're not talking about people that you know from your college team or your local sports team, but just in your own life, work, go to school with, run into. I mean, if you've ever ran into somebody who's really... I don't think I've ran into anybody out in public who was anywhere near that height outside of when I've ran into Portland Trailblazers at the Lloyd Center Mall in Portland, Oregon back in the day. But the tallest guy I know, his name was TJ, and he was about 6'8", 6'9", and he played college basketball. Big, goofy guy, but just one guy in my whole lifetime, in nearly 40 years on this earth. So, yeah, exactly. Where are all these big guys coming from who don't know their dads?
They're probably injecting some kind of whatever. I know they do that in China. They inject
exactly some sort of human growth hormone. Absolutely, there's no doubt they're doing that.
Right.
Michael Jordan grew to be a foot taller than his dad. I mean, come on.
Like, come on, dude. Seriously. And they have no idea who their fathers are, going back to that point.
I'll tell you what, when Jimmy Butler's at the free throw line doing his thing with the ball and moving around his shoulders, it gives me deja vu of Jordan back in his day. I'm just like, damn, I think he is Jordan's son. So.
Crazy.
Yeah. All right, man.
I think Braun's going to... Oh, have I been on too long?
Well, if you have something else to say, go ahead. But there's just a lot of people calling in, so... If you got one more thing, go ahead.
I do have one more question. Did you make a video on who's going to win this election?
Well, again, what number did LeBron just hit tonight?
What number did he hit? I'm sorry, what?
He became 4 and 6 in the finals, and the election's 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday.
President.
And tonight's game synced up with the Catholic Pope, and Catholic's 46, and there's 46 books in the Catholic Old Testament. So JFK killed at 46. If Biden does become the 46th president, he'll be the second Catholic president. The first was JFK, number 35, dead at 46. Catholics 35 forwards, 46 in reverse. Remember, when Trump became president, it was in 2016. He had his convention in Cleveland right after LeBron won the finals. So, looks like basketball in the finals could be synced up again.
And Biden has that Vice President Kamala Harris. I feel like she might become the president after that because of a
we've been talking about that since 2016. The Boondocks cartoon says first black woman gets into office.
As president, right.
Yeah, in 2020. So, we'll see. All right, man.
Oh, yeah. All right, thank you so much, Zach.
See you.
Call from.
Caller?
Police department.
Uh-oh.
Do you want to give me your name and number and I'll give it to the police?
Okay. The trolling's got to do better. You guys got to do better. This is too boring. I'll let you guys troll for a minute if it's funny, but... This is the place. Okay. These are my critics. This is the best they can do. Caller, what's up?
What's up, Zach?
Hey.
Really quick, the other caller was just talking about the president. Did you know the first debate was 52 days after Biden's birthday?
Well, it must have been before because his birthday is November 20th.
Before.
I
So
didn't,
52.
but president, government authority, 52, okay.
So, yeah. I wasn't sure if you knew that, so I just wanted to let you know.
Appreciate it, man. See ya.
No problem.
Call from
Caller?
Hey, what's up? I had a couple of things to add. You brought up Alex Smith with his leg injury,
Right,
which was November 18th of 2018.
right.
Okay, so the previous injury to that one that was compared to it was Joe Theismann. It happened 33 years prior to the day, as I'm
On
sure
the
you know.
same hash mark.
Okay, so we have these analogous leg injuries at the 42-yard line, correct? Spaced 33 years apart.
Right.
And so the successor to Alex Smith would be Colin Kaepernick, who's also known for taking a knee, but not in the same way, not in an injury fashion.
Right.
But I did find a correlation here. The quarterbacks who had their legs broken were facing teams in red, white, and blue. Kaepernick is kneeling on the national anthem in the red, white, and blue. So I think that Kaepernick is taking part of a continuous ritual that started with Theismann. And Theismann called Kaepernick a, quote, pain in the neck when he started kneeling.
Huh.
So that was foreshadowing Derek Chauvin.
And George
And one other
Floyd.
thing,
Right.
yeah, exactly. One of the things, Derek means, the name actually means hangman, referring to a German hangman who hanged 3,000, which is a huge 9/11 connection, considering that, he choked Floyd for 846. Anyway, that's all I had to add to that. One other thing, Nipsey Hussle's birthday is the founding date for the Jesuit order. So, another one, too.
Appreciate that. Good work.
Thanks.
All right. Take care. Yeah, I mean, when you start to pay attention to what they're doing, when you got the Gematria lens, you just see, I mean, the rituals are so deep, and some of them are just, it's just like, how are they doing this? But again, Alex Smith comes back by the numbers, as predicted. His two former teams go down in the two biggest upsets of the week. Caller?
Hey, what's up, Zach?
How you doing, man?
Good. So, I'm thinking about, the election you just mentioned, 46 stuff with Biden. So I was just, I test dates every now and then. So I'm looking at December 19th, 188 days after Trump's birthday. That's also 6 months, 5 days, 26 weeks, 6 days. It's 71 date numerology. And then, I also did from the election to that date, it's 46 days. So, I see the potential there for some type of election-themed ritual with these Catholic numbers you're talking about. So maybe a narrative could be that they declare that Joe Biden wins the election, and then Trump challenges the results and says it's some type of fraud.
Well, I imagine all that would have to happen before that period of time, just because, that'd be a month and a half after the election. So.
Well, it's the inauguration date's on the 20th of January, so
Right.
Doesn't the president they finishes the term out still, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll remember that.
So, yeah.
Appreciate
it.
it.
Also looking at December 29th, and actually Halloween, too, has a little bit of spookiness behind it. The second full moon of the month. For, 11th of the year. So, all right, check you later.
All right, man. Take care. Okay. And shout out to the people who gave reviews for the new book. Appreciate that. Again, the book's got a big chapter on Kobe's death and the relevance of the ritual to 2020. How it's bigger than basketball.
from
Caller?
How's it going, Zach? Good job on the NBA Finals. I've been following you ever since you predicted the New York Mets would go to the World Series, and you nailed it. And ever since then, I've just been looking at it from an objective point of view, and it's pretty entertaining. It's even more entertaining than actually investing emotions into sports. So I'm gonna give you props about that. And I just wanted to ask you if there's any connection between the Brooklyn Nets and next year's finals, because I just find Steve Nash just coming out of nowhere randomly just strange. So I was just, in my mind, I'm thinking he's gonna have to do something with next year's finals. And something else, I was just messing around with the calculator, and the New York Mets new owner, who's going to be Steve Cohen, he's 116 in English ordinal and 44 in full reduction. Then I also typed in New York 2021, and it's also 116 and 44. So I'm not sure, if that had something to do with next year. But,
well, I got to think about the progression, because I do believe LeBron will be getting to 6-6 in finals, especially after the Heat scored 66 points with their starters today. And again, LeBron and Lakers is 66. So I'm trying to figure out which teams he's going to go through. When I was talking about this 2 years ago, I honestly thought LeBron would end up going 6-6 by winning his sixth against the Heat, who he used to wear 6-4, but instead he's starting it by beating the Heat. So to me, it still tells me the same thing. But to think that they'd play the Brooklyn Nets to me makes a lot of sense, because then you get the Kyrie, Kevin Durant. I mean, that's the kind of drama they want and attention they want in a sports game. And yeah, you're right, the Steve Nash thing. So I got to do my homework on it. But I'm expecting one of his finals on the way to be against the Nets, no doubt about it. So.
Right, man. So yeah, I just wanted to call in just to mention that. So good job, man. You guys have a good one, man.
Hey, I just thought about something. No, actually, the thought's not quite correct. But I'll think more about your Nets thing. It could be next year. Maybe it's in 2 years. It's got to be one of those. But I'll think about it. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, and check out that New York Mets owner, because a lot of numbers are coming up with him. So, I'm just checking it out. So yeah, man. You guys have a good one, man.
All right. Yeah, you too. Take care. All right. Appreciate the nice reviews. Again, you guys, this book right here, you want to wake people up, this book will help you out, because you'll have the book in your hands, and you'll just be able to open pages and just be like, bam! You can't deny it.
From?
Caller?
Oh, is that?
Yes, it is.
I got one question. You watch the Illuminati?
Well, I appreciate him, because he brought a lot of new people to the channel by recommending the work back when Kobe died.
Yeah, I used to watch him, though. He dope.
Yeah, I appreciate that he brought a lot of attention to the work. So.
Oh, that's all I want. Have a good day.
All right. Yeah, take care. Yeah, I do appreciate his channel. It's funny, a lot of big channels on YouTube, and the only big channel ever to recommend this work was him. So. I like this review from Melissa. If you thought you were awake before, you'll quickly learn you weren't. She writes, if you're like me, you've always thought our world was off, but could only consider conspiracy theories without being able to prove the evil. Gematria is the proof. Hold on, let me take a call here. Richie.
Hi, this is Richie from Boston. How's it going?
Well, your voice has definitely changed.
I just took a couple of supplements from GNC.
Okay.
It was a soft chew. I just wanted to say my channel is way better than yours. I'll be way better than you ever will be. And also, I just wanted to say I won a game of hopscotch against Hillary Clinton. So.
Well, I'm definitely going to subscribe, man. I'm definitely going to subscribe. I appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. Keep up the good work, man. Keep up the good work. What's up, caller?
What's up, Zach? It's
Hi.
Bart.
Hey, what's up, Bart?
You're going to love this, man. So today I was Ubering, and I love that you did that 3-hour reading of your book, because I was listening to it, and I got to a point at, I believe it was like 1 hour and 48 minutes where you start talking about the number 33, then you go into the George Floyd stuff, and then you go into the TV mind control and the Kabbalah and all that stuff. So every time, the entire afternoon, as I was picking people up, giving rides,
I would rewind to that 1 hour and 48 minutes so they could hear the 33s and the TV mind control and all that shit.
Oh, sure.
And so like, I would say I had about 15 rides, and they would come in, they would get in my car, and I'd be like, you know what, I hope you don't mind, I'm listening to an audio book. And they're like, oh, no, you're all good, you're all good. I said, you sure? Because I could turn on some music. Oh, no, you're all good. So, like, 15 people, like, in a row were listening to all this stuff, and I was, like, looking at the people through my rearview mirror when you were talking about mind control and the television and all that shit. And I had several people, like, when you talked about the mind control, like, I had a few couples in my car, and they just looked at each other like, what the fuck? You know?
Indeed.
So I had a lot of fun today. I'm so glad you did that, because I'm going to start doing that from now on, just starting at that point at 1 hour and 48 minutes, and during the week, I will do that. Now, on a Friday or Saturday where people are partying and getting drunk,
Sure.
I play some good music. I get
Sure.
you know, like, I get a lot of compliments on my playlist, so, you
Yes.
know, just to keep people, you know, having fun. But during the week, when people are, like, down and out and shit, because they got to go to work, I will be playing your book. I love it that you did that, man. I did a couple of parlays today. I got a nice little $3 one. I won $30. Nothing big, but turned $3.30.
Hey, nice to do 10 times your money. That buys some groceries. Nice.
Yep, exactly. Or gas, you know.
Indeed.
But I found some more clues to the Bears riddle, and this one is like, you got to put on your THC glasses and be a little psychedelic here. Last night, I gave a ride to a girl, and her name was, I kid you not, her name was Alexa, like as in, Alexa, tell me who's going to win the Super Bowl or who's going to go to the Super Bowl. And so I'm driving her from the city into the southwest suburbs, and we're getting close to her home, and we're driving under a Interstate 88, okay? And that's an interstate that actually goes all the way from Chicago to the southwest suburbs, way far. So I'm looking at this Interstate 88, and as I get closer to it, a name of the interstate, and I did not know this, living in Chicago for so many years. So as I'm driving closer to it, the name of the highway pops up on the GPS. And the name of the highway is Chicago, Kansas City Highway.
Whoa. Huh.
And get this, it's called Interstate 88. So I pulled up your book, Letters and Numbers. I'm like, what does the number 88 mean? And we know, well, you know, it's God's plan, and it's also the speed limit that you had to reach in the DeLorean to go back to the future. So I'm like, Back to the Future. What year did that come out? Guess what? It came out in 1985, just like the Bears won the Super Bowl in 85. And it also, when you type in Back to the Future, it's also 85. And as I called in the other day, Nicholas Edward Foles in pure cipher is 85.
Yeah. Just like National Football League's 85, Chicago's the birthplace. So.
Exactly. So those are a couple of the things that I want to talk to you about. And hold on. Oh, I was going to say, you know the guy that keeps calling in with you just being kind of a dick? Why don't you just give out his phone number? Why don't we all call him?
Well, he calls every time from a different number.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he got a different number every time he calls in. So. Yeah.
Okay. And, okay, last thing that I noticed, on the field, you know how they have on the field, like, second and third and four or whatever, and you know how they have that arrow pointing?
Right.
Look at it closely. it looks like a tip of a needle.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's something I noticed today. So, all right, just wanted to share that with you. Thank you for all that you do, and thanks for. I'm getting a little bit better at picking teams. I picked a few parlays, but the Eagles killed me. So,
yeah, I wasn't real big on that Eagles one, man, just because the 1-3-1 was making sense too. But if they got past today, then it was going to open up the door for that potential riddle. But it seems so far-fetched because it's like, how are they going to beat those teams? But
yeah. I was a sucker for it, and it screwed me up, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, Zach. Thanks.
All right, man.
Call.
All right, yeah, take care.
Take care.
Okay. But yeah, I appreciate everyone writing their views. I like the big compliments. The most important book ever written. Well, we got to read every book to be sure, but I'll tell you what, this book I've written is pretty damn important. What's up, caller?
Hey, Zach.
What's up?
Hey, this is Perry. I haven't called in a while. It's been about 5 or 6 months. I don't know if you remember me. I'm from Pasadena. I got with your channel when it was about the fight with Fury and Wilder.
Oh, right.
And you called it on the button.
That was
But
too
I'm
easy.
actually,
That was one of the, see, some things are just really easy to call. Like, if you understand the riddle, I mean, it's just too easy. That fight was really easy. This Lakers and LeBron's 17th season was too easy. Some riddles are a lot easier than others, that's for sure.
Man, I'll have to tell you, I barely knew you back then. This was back in February, and I got your first book, subscribed to everything. I was like, man, you broke the riddle for me as far as, putting all the numbers together, because I'm you just say celebrity designer, a fashion designer, and so I know the codes. I know all about the blood sacrifice, rituals and all that stuff, but you put the cherry on top. And I just wanted to add another riddle to what you're talking about with the Lakers winning today.
Okay.
Did you know that score, 106-93, 33 years ago, the Lakers closed out the Celtics on the same score, 106-93?
In 1987, huh? James equals 87.
1987.
So look at that. Yeah,
And guess
33 years ago. So just so people can see, James is 87 and 33. And NBA Finals, of course, is 33. And so that must have been Bird versus Magic back then. Bird 33, Magic 33. So.
Yep. Yeah.
And by the way, let's not forget, because I was talking about that too with Sue Bird, because Sue Bird just dominated. Sue Bird just won her finals in her 19th season against Sue Bird. Seattle equals 19. It was her 19th season. She's the WNBA star. Sue Bird equals 33. Bird alone's 33. She blows out what do they call them? The Vegas Aces? It must be Las Vegas Aces. Las Vegas Aces with 33. And then she wins the series 3-0, and Bird's also 30. And again, it was just perfectly synced with coronavirus showing up in the U.S. and the finals. Just a perfect ritual. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I was thinking about that, and them wearing yellow like the Lakers. So that's why they did that, because 33 years ago was Lakers-Celtics. Now the Lakers tied the Celtics. Mm-hmm. So you just see all these people, like even Sue Bird, even though nobody watches the WNBA. They've even farmed this female athlete for their scripted WNBA, even though nobody's even watching.
And nobody's watching tennis also, and Nadal won his 20th tennis, whatever, that trophy or whatever.
Okay.
Tying, Roger Federer, like you said, all those guys that they're really good if I get their ass kicked by the regulars, but they got to have those puppets, hitting the markets for everybody to love. Nadal looks like he just, I don't know. I don't know. It's just something funny about him. But no, I just had to put that ritual out there. That's all Pat Riley, 4-2 Lakers winning over the Celtics back in '87 when he was the coach.
Look at this, man.
Lakers beating.
Look at this. So June 13th is when the NBA Finals ended in 1984. I just put it up on the screen. Same score, 106-93. That finals ended on the day leaving 201 days left in the year. Number of the year, 201. Just like how LeBron was born 201 days after the 84 finals, and how they had the clock stopped on 201 with LeBron at the line with 84 points on the board. It's amazing how they pull this stuff off, but yeah, I wasn't aware of that until you called in.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a great catch.
Yeah, I just had to Hey, I'm getting better and better at it, and I've been posting more and more, just, kind of leaving comments, just lately. I haven't been in the chat room that much, but I just saying, hey, you're doing a great job, and I see why a lot of people don't want to debate you. Have you ever thought about this? You're so intimidating. People that don't know too much about Gematria or people that want to debate you, they have a lot of subscribers, like, Richie from Boston and that guy Brian.
Well, the thing about Richie is Richie just knows it would be over right here, because even though he's a liar and con man, he'd have trouble lying when I just say, look at this. Richie, remember back when you had 5,000 subscribers and I found out about you because you uploaded a video thanking me for saving you from going to the Oregon protest and telling people to look into Gematria? Mm. Now, ever since your channel blew up, now you talk shit about Gematria. So...
they know better. I think you will embarrass them so much that their followers will probably come to you.
Dude, everybody knows that that's the truth. That's why they don't mention me. They act like I don't exist. Brian, he's always talking about me but never saying my name. It's obvious that they're all on orders, and that's exactly what it is. Anybody who watched their channel and my channel be like, fuck, I just found my new favorite channel. So, man,
I don't mind seeing other people, and when you said something about Brian, I had to find out who this Brian guy is, so I looked him up. The first few minutes, he was talking about that Gematria, whatever it was, like a couple weeks ago or whatever, and I was like, why don't you just say his name? He's outside in the backyard playing with his dog and all that, and I'm like, man, you sound like Mr. Rogers. I mean, dude, say his name. Damn.
Yeah, he just
so it's just like, I give people a chance, I mean, when someone told me about you, I gave you a chance. I'm like, man, this dude blew me away in the first 5 minutes. I'm done. I'm hooked. That's why I subscribed ASAP. These other guys, hell no. I give them a chance. Okay, show me something. It's kind of like I don't know if you remember, you're old enough, the Gong Show. If you don't perform, kind of like, the Gong Show or whatever show, like, anything. Just like, if you don't perform within the first 3 or 4 minutes, they can boot your ass out of there.
Sure.
And I'm like, man, you hit it, and I'm like, your words and your flow of your voice, it just hits me. I'm like, you know what, I'm hooked. And I can't see why other people cannot be hooked, or people just talk about it. Just talk about it. Stop being afraid. This is what you want. The world is damn near coming to an end. You need to know what's up. Don't people want to get smart? Be smart, know what's going on?
You would think so.
I guess not.
People don't value knowledge. So. Well, I just started to think about that. Like, you can go to an old bookstore, these old books full of knowledge, they don't cost that much. Man, people will pay a ton for a ticket to see a concert or a sports game. People value entertainment a lot more than they value knowledge in our society. And you start to look at why things are wrong, you just think about things like that right there. It's like, why are the highest paid people in this world actors and entertainers? We don't pay teachers jack shit. It's just like, you start to look at everything, you're like, yeah, everything's fucked up. No wonder things are the way they are. So,
yeah. Well, I won't hold you for too long, man. I'm here to listen, and I know other people are, chiming in and calling. So
hold up, I got to tell you something. Since you brought up this playoff game, I just had to go back and look at the box score, and I noticed the Lakers starters scored 84 points in that game, that 93-106 game, and I just had to look. Magic Johnson played 42 minutes.
2 minutes. Yep, 19 assists. Kareem had 32 points. In that game.
Yeah, I do see that.
Yep. And so it's all, like I said, it's all a joke. I can see through it, and that's what hurts me, because I played basketball. I played college basketball. I played against Garnett, and I played at the Target Center. And you had a show the other day about, like, how they can shoot the hoops, and, they have technology. You said something about technology that can go in and out. They can make the balls go in and out. I really do believe that.
They do. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. Anybody who plays basketball should watch some of these NBA shots and be like, okay, what was wrong with that shot? That Tyler Hero shot.
Had to go back.
When Lakers won Game 4 to go up 3-1, they didn't cover because Tyler Hero's meaningless shot at the end that he heaved up, you could see that ball got sucked through the hoop. That's how Vegas makes sure they win. Everybody was on the over. It went on the under because of that.
Right.
So...
And I want to answer, I think someone in the chat room asked how they can rig, how other people are involved. Believe me, a lot of people do know that, whoever's on the court, everybody from the owners, the coaches, even assistant coaches, they are in on it. They are all in on it. And believe me, if you're not, you playing with LeBron, you playing with AD, you go back all the way to Jordan and Dr. J and all that. Whoever's on the court, they know what's up. You know what's up. They know how to control it. I know how to control the game. I was a point guard. I know someone that was point shaving in college. I know what's up. You know, they know how to control the games. They know how to rig. And I didn't know anything about the rims and all that stuff. But they do have technology to have the balls go in and out. Believe me, they can easily. And there might be a magnetic chip in the ball. Who knows? But they know what's up.
They have something. And again, anybody who wants to debate that sports aren't rigged, just go watch the end of the Raptors season and tell me how that's not a rigged ending. Charles Barkley's quote at the end of the game in the live broadcast was, "That was the worst possession in the history of the NBA." And it really was. It was just pathetic. I mean, you're in a situation where you need 2 possessions. You know, as a point guard, you're getting the ball up the court efficiently, and you're getting a shot off, a high percentage shot as quickly as possible, and you're fouling, and Fred VanVleet just dribbles out the whole clock. What?
Man, how about Stephen Curry last year against the Toronto Raptors?
Exactly. Exactly.
6,
Triple teamed.
same thing.
Triple teamed. He could have passed it to anybody. All they needed was 2 points. Yeah, exactly. And
right.
It's just a joke, man. It's a joke. So.
Yeah, so I appreciate you taking my call, but it's just funny how people got to wake up. Fake injuries. Come on, Chris Paul getting hurt, a couple years ago against the Warriors. Come on. They know what's up. Everybody's in it. Everybody's fishing the pond. Come on. Everybody eats out of the devil's pot. They all do. So.
Right.
But you take care of...
I appreciate your call. I was just going to say, people with their questions are so self-explanatory. Why are these guys paid so much? They're paid so much because they perform for these rigged damn games that make all this money in the world of gambling by being nonsensical and duping the gamblers every night. And you just see what a script it is. You mean this Heat team battles with the Lakers, and then on this crucial game, they just get buried by nearly 40 points at one point in the game? It's like, come on, man. If you're competitive, you're competitive.
And some actors are better than others, just like in, just regular actors. Some actors are better than others.
Indeed.
Now, James Harden is a bad actor. He's a bad actor. I remember several years ago, he was averaging 35 points a game. All of a sudden, he shoots 2 for 20 against the Spurs in a closeout game. I think he scored like 11 points. I'm like, dude, he was like letting everybody steal the ball from him, shooting bricks. I'm like, what, is this for somebody else? Because this is not the James Harden that everybody knows. You're just a bad actor. You're someone really good. I mean, there's some good actors. I mean, LeBron's a really good actor. I mean, some of these guys probably do go to acting school. And I remember, look this up. I'm not lying about this. Lynn Swann, we're going way back. Lynn Swann from the Pittsburgh Steelers, wide receiver, he took acting classes. He took a ballet class on top of that. These guys know, they want to master their craft. They'll go to the extreme to do it.
Amazing. Yeah, indeed. And again, you want to see some bad acting? Again, look at Mike Stanton's final at bat for the Yankees. Just the look on his face as the bat just sits on his shoulder like he was told not to swing a single time, and he sure didn't. It's just like no baseball player's going out like that in a crucial game, a game that means everything. You're not just sitting. No baseball player is trained to not protect the plate with 2 strikes. Mike Stanton was just chilling with the bat, just right on the shoulder as he strikes out to pretty much end the season. It's just like, come on, man.
Yeah, and when you're asleep, you don't know any better. I mean, it's like, Zach, with your work, you're making me investigate like the last 15 years of all sports that I like at least, of how they ended, who was the stars, who faked, whatever. And I would never forget one time, Game 7 World Series, I think it was the Atlanta Braves versus, could have been the Yankees or whatever it was. Dude bunted in the 9th inning, 2 outs. They needed a run or 2 just to get, a tie game, whatever. Yeah. A guy tries to get on base. Are you serious?
Well, what's funny about baseball now is it's so often this scenario will happen. There will be a runner on third. The new modern MLB just cracks me up because nobody tries to manufacture runs, just try to hit a home run. But you'll see guys all the time now on third base with no outs, and the team can't even get the run home because back in the day you would just bunt the ball right down the line, and then the runner's home and score. Easy to manufacture that one run with a runner on third and no outs. But that's what I mean. You just start to watch sports, and I mean, look at baseball now. Everybody, like every batter has a major shift on. It's like, wait a minute, these are major league hitters. They're leaving that whole section of the field wide open, and that guy can't just get a base hit right there. MLB,
Man,
hit me up, man. Just give me the multi-year $1 million deal. I'll be batting 500 in modern day major leagues with these shifts they put on people. It's just a joke, man. Pro sports have never been a bigger joke than they are right now. All across the board, they're just stupid.
Now, we all know that a lot of people are watching you and hearing you, even the negative people, and I heard those damn trollers today. Think about this. You said this thing yesterday or the day before. It's getting harder and harder to dissect these games or to, try to get the outcome of these games. I think, like you said, they're double coding because I think they're catching on to people knowing what's going on. They're catching on to your work, and they're catching on to people knowing the regular codes. I remember you used to say it was easy like 3 or 4 years ago. It was like piece of cake. I could get this, and it'd be don't even look back on it.
Well, people
Now
used to
it's
know.
like
People
they're
would follow
trying
me
to
over
do
the
it
years.
at
I
the
used to just
code.
kill Monday primetime football. I would just get every game right, man. It would be very rare that I'd miss a primetime game. The last 2, maybe 3. In recent years, they've made primetime football so difficult. It's like every game is like just. It's like, what the hell are they doing now? How is it like this? So.
Right, and I knew they were losing their jerseys a couple of days ago. I knew it. This could be 4-1. And I said it on your live show, 4-1. And guess what? They lost, in the Kobe jerseys.
Right.
So, yeah. But, yeah, man, just keep doing what you're doing, man. And I'm putting your work out there. It's hard. I'm losing friends, loved ones. I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, you're going to be all alone anyway, so you might as well start now.
This is true, man. We got a similar philosophy.
Yeah.
All right, man. You have a good night.
Yeah. All right, you too.
Take care, man.
Thanks out
See ya.
there.
Call from.
Caller.
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Good. I have a question for you. Were you taking calls like from regulars now?
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, anybody can call in. I mean, the critics didn't call in except for the trolls, so yeah, anybody can call in.
I heard. I'm making edibles and I got a good laugh from them. But
Sure.
I have a question. It's not relevant to sports at all. I just listened to the last 3 or 4 of the videos on the Gematria Effect News YouTube, and I was trying to see if you said anything about it, but I didn't hear it about the thing with I live in Michigan, the thing with our governor here.
Oh yeah, that news broke 46 days from her birthday, and Michigan's 46, and there's some weird thing going on with kidnapping stories. Kidnapping's another 56 words, so I'm wondering where they're going with this. So.
Yes, because that was the other thing was it was ironic or coincidence that the exact same day of that, and it was hours after on the Fox News, where is it? Because I get the news alerts just for the Decode, and I didn't decode it because I was like, well, this is kind of weird. But Fox News, I got an alert that says, so Thursday at 9:13 says, woman kidnapped, saved by locksmith after writing this chilling message on her hand. And like obviously our state is shaped like a mitten. Like I thought it was weird. Same day, like that's all.
Well, I appreciate the information, and yeah, I'll look more into that story. I just saw it was 46 days from her birthday, and I was like, okay, Michigan 46. Here we go, more news by the numbers, and I was just already bored with it. But I'll go back and look more.
No,
so.
I am too. You don't even have to. I just figured it was something. I just wanted to put that out there.
All right. Well, I appreciate it.
Thank you for your work.
All right. Yeah. Have a good night.
You too.
By the way, Nick Wright. In 2016, Nick Wright was active on Twitter, making fun of Gematria and sharing my videos and like, isn't this the dumbest thing you've ever seen? And he's climbed the ranks in the world of Fox Sports since then. He has a more prominent position with them now. But I noticed it was also, it's probably been 3 or 4 years since he's tweeted anything about Gematria. But and I'm sure that's because he was told to stop bringing attention to it because we just kept predicting everything correctly. Why bring attention and downplay something that's undeniable? Caller? You got to mute your video.
Hello, how you doing, sir?
Mute the video, please.
I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, I'm a Catholic man from Georgia. I just wanted to call in and say what's up.
I think a lot of your ideas are very far-fetched. I believe that, you say that the Jews are the problem for everything that's happening in the world.
Where did I say that? Where did I ever say that? And how come every time I talk, it just blasts through back? It feels like a troll tactic. Anyway, I'm already hanging up. It's just a troll. So start off with a false statement. Anyway, if my voice wasn't echoing back through every single time, which I'm sure is something he set up on purpose to be a troll, I would have let him go on. But if anybody wants to call in and make real comments and a real debate and not false accusations, I'll entertain that. But I'm also going to try to do this tweet to Nick Wright, and if you guys can go like it or retweet it a bunch, maybe we can get him to talk about Gematria again. Maybe somehow we can get a debate on Fox Sports about if sports are rigged. Wouldn't that be awesome? That's what needs to happen. When are you going to start downplaying Gematria again? How many more championships do we need to call seasons in advance? Because we've been doing it college and pro across the board for years. Caller?
Zach, good evening. This is Nick. I had called you about 3 weeks ago on one of the live streams, bringing up kind of about the 49ers Super Bowl riddle, right? And I was able to tune in yesterday, and I was glad to see some discussion. I heard one of the callers bringing that up again, and then, you kind of did that breakdown with the potential riddle look ahead to maybe like Chicago Bears, 49ers in the NFC Championship. So on that note, I wanted to bring it up about the State Farm commercials. I don't know if this has been discussed lately, but this year they've got like 2 of these State Farm commercials with Mahomes and Rodgers again, right?
Right.
And so in one of them, you've got Aaron Rodgers. I'm just going by what he's wearing. It's like a plain white shirt with a plain black pants. And he's standing there talking to the State Farm rep, who's wearing like a solid red shirt with solid gold pants. And gold meaning like the khakis are tan, but I mean, these are actually more. So when I was sitting there watching the 49ers game last week on TV, and they'd go from that commercial, right back to the action of the game, you could see that State Farm get-up looked exactly like the 49ers home uniforms.
Huh.
Okay, the other one where it's showing Mahomes, he's talking, the State Farm rep is wearing the exact same thing. And I think it's the same dude, actually. It's a black dude as the rep. But Mahomes is wearing black pants with like a it's a white, black, and gray shirt with like what look to be birds on them, but the birds are kind of like an abstract art or something like that. But to me, it looks like ravens, between what Rodgers is wearing and what Mahomes is wearing.
Okay.
And I thought it was interesting too, because in your breakdown about kind of the Bears and the Niners thing, and then you mentioned like, okay, Bills and the Cowboys were the last teams to rematch in the Super Bowl, I guess.
Yeah, 27 years ago. In Buffalo's 27.
Well, and remember, the Ravens and the Niners played that Super Bowl where Kaepernick played in, and the Niners had that big lead. The lights went out. Ravens came back and beat them.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, I didn't want to overlook that because it seemed like last year that was kind of interesting in hindsight. That commercial that they kind of titled the Aaron Rodgers Nightmare, where he saw the 2 red teams playing or something like that.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, that was interesting, and I think too is like I was just thinking back when I called you last time that I don't know if I was clear about, but I was kind of trying to make the point of like the KISS principle, keep things maybe a little more simple. For example, when I tuned on the radio today to catch the Steelers and Eagles game. Well, right before it started, they say Steelers are going for their first 4-0 start to the season in 41 years. Who else gives you this kind of nugget? And I'm like, well, shit, I've already got my money on the Eagles, So, but it's just stuff like that. Like you said before, when they throw that stat right in your face,
and that's going to hit.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Stiller's got those gold Jesuit family, Jesuit ritual. Yeah, I know that the Eagles had value and they had a chance, but man, that 1-3-1 was making a lot of sense too. So that is what happened.
Yeah, I think I got a little too excited, and probably people did on that one. But and then so this Tuesday night Titans angle is interesting to me too. But again, here I think you were narrowing it down so far on, well, we got to see if the game's going to be played and what are the quarterbacks and all that. But I think you were leaning Buffalo on that game, and I'm looking at it more like just keep it simple. Tuesday night Titans, right? Who's going to win?
Well, that would be the real in-your-face thing. The typical numbers are there for Josh Allen to get it done, but yeah, if they lose, it's been a week of 4-1, so I'm excited to see what the score of that game is. It's going to tell us something about the other things we're considering. So, yeah.
Anyway, I'm a little disorganized in my thoughts, probably as usual. Not nearly as clear-headed as you are, but on the kind of on that 49ers thing with the rematch potentially of the Super Bowl. I don't know what number it was when the Ravens and the Niners played, but
that was Super Bowl 47.
Part of that.
That was the Harbaugh Bowl.
40.
John won. John
right,
equals
right.
47. John beat Jim in the Harbaugh Bowl. Yeah.
There you go. So, and I mean, I know you've been a little bit stuck on this Kaepernick kind of theme, like maybe he's going to come back or something, but and that could be possible, but just the fact that he has to tie in to that game that was played. Of course, with the Niners losing to the Dolphins today, that didn't help the prospects of wherever they might be heading this year. And the other thing was on this era of the black quarterback article that you mentioned about from the undefeated. I don't know. It could be just more simple, like just stating, there's a lot more black quarterbacks now than what it used to be through the history of the league. Like it used to be considered more of a mental position, like, so therefore, if you want to throw racism into it, like, it's white guys are going to be the mental position. But now it seems to be that it's just more focused on the athleticism of the QB himself. So I don't know. Does it mean that there has to be black QB in this year's Super Bowl, or from there on out? I'm not so sure that's the case. It's just that they're, chronicling the fact how the league is so much shifted now to where we see, much more black QBs than we ever did before.
Well, I think since this year is so much like the year that they did the Broncos and the Black Panther ritual, I think it's very possible we do see the black quarterback versus the white quarterback, and could be a little Cowboys and Indians thing, so we'll see.
Well, and I mean, Ravens and 49ers would fit that bill too, possibly.
No.
Anyway, let me wrap up just by saying that this caller a few calls ago that was talking about that Chicago Interstate 88, I had a chance to look it up, and the Chicago Kansas City Expressway actually refers to the state highway, Route 101. It just so happens that it intersects with several of the interstates, like once it reaches Chicago. But I don't know. The tie he was making, again, that was another example of, like, I think you said in a video not too long ago, like sometimes we can over-decode things, and I just feel like, that's the case. I'd rather see the big things that are just a lot more obvious, like go for the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, that's the best thing to do. All right, man. I appreciate it. You have a good night.
Yep. Have a good night.
See you.
Call from.
Caller?
Hey, what's up, Zach? So, the date, December 18th, it's the 353rd day of the year.
Yeah.
That's the 71st prime number. And that's 187 days after Trump's birthday. So that's a strong combination, right?
Sure.
Yeah, and, it's also 333 days after, to spend from the January 21st date.
Okay.
that's what I do. I just test stuff and see what strong combinations come. I want to predict something big, so.
Okay.
All right, man.
All right. Yeah. Take care.
Later.
That's it. Does LeBron James not have a Twitter? Maybe he doesn't have a Twitter. I was thinking we could ask LeBron if it's a coincidence. LeBron, when are you going to speak up? But yeah, I mean, it's very possible that these professional athletes, since they are clearly raised and groomed and bred to be what they are, it's possible that their whole life they are like trained under a form of mind control. Maybe they're oblivious to certain things. What's up, caller? Oh, I guess they didn't have their trolling together. But yeah, the trolls keep calling in from different numbers, so it's too bad it's not 2016. Back then we used to get actual views. It would have been nice to see how many we could have had on a live stream back then, back before all the censorship days. Caller? Hello? 214, can't hear you. Okay. All right, I don't know if there's any more to say tonight. Thank you to everyone who's liking and retweeting the thing at Nick Wright. We're going to have to get a bunch more to get his attention, though. Probably thinks he's big stuff these days, being one of the main anchors on Fox Sports. But in 2016, he was one of the people on mainstream networks that were acknowledging the work but trying to poke fun at it. And again, just imagine if I go sit on the Fox Sports thing with Nick Wright and Shannon Sharp and what's that other guy, that idiot that used to be on ESPN with Stephen A. Smith. I would just love to be on there and just debate with them, just expose how. I mean, they wouldn't have any arguments. What are they going to say about the Fred VanVleet thing? What are they going to say about just so many of these ridiculous things in sports? Stanton.
From
caller.
Hey, I'm glad I got connected to the show. I've been watching for a minute. So based on so a few things. You know how Kobe died the day of the Grammys, and there's always like a death either the day of or the day before and things like that.
Right.
So I had a friend and myself. We're looking up stuff. We're wondering what deaths have correlated around like basketball or anything around the day of the Grammys. What sacrifices have made? And then you had the Prince's girlfriend, and then Prince died later that year, For You and things like that. And then we kept looking up things. So in 2014, on January 26th, there was a guy named Tom Galla. I don't know if you did this research or not. I haven't seen a video with it, but you might have because the videos are very long. Tom Galla, he died at the age of 81. He played for LaSalle, I believe, I think in college, and then he was born in Philadelphia as well, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. January 13th is the day he was born, 1933. Died January 26th, 2014, at the age of 81 in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 6'6", went to LaSalle High School, L.A. L.A., LaSalle College High School. Went to LaSalle again for college, L.A. Then he got drafted by the Philadelphia Warriors, which is like the irony, because when you think of I forgot the guy's name that played for the Warriors and Philadelphia. He wore 33, I believe, or 13. I forgot his name. Was it Kareem Abdul? I don't know. No, it wasn't him because he played for the Bucks. It was some other guy. But yeah, just the correlation between everything was kind of blew my mind. So I don't know if you ever seen that or did any research on that, but I just wanted to bring that up.
Well, that's kind of how it is. It's all like a web of connected rituals, so it makes sense. But yeah, I don't think I was aware before.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's how it is. I don't know. I seen that. I saw it a while ago. Because this one we're just looking up, just the Grammy sacrifice or people dying on the day of the Grammys, and for it to be 6 years ago, the same day Kobe died, and then 6 years later, Kobe does die. LeBron, plays his old team where he wore 6 and wins in Game 6, and then all this other. It's funny. This guy is 6'6" as well. I mean, not that really matters. It could be reaching, but it's just funny. And he died at the age of 81 as well. same city he was born in, Kobe was born in, and everything like that. January 13th, Kobe's daughter was 13. 1933, talk about 33 is a ritual number as well. I mean, it's very funny. That's all. I don't know.
Indeed. Well, you're doing good research. Yeah, I think you definitely found something there. So, and again, who was that on January 26, 2014?
Tom Galla, and he was introduced to the Hall of Fame in 1976 as well. Which I remember you were doing some numbers.
76ers. Exactly they said that Kobe crashed into Sikorsky S76. Philly. The
That's
76ers.
What it was. You said. Mm-hmm.
How do you spell that guy's last name? I don't know that player.
Gola. Ironic again, LA is how it ends.
Okay, and then another big ritual that just happened was Bob Gibson just died by the numbers, and he died on the anniversary of his 17 strikeout game, and he played Major League Baseball and for the Harlem Globetrotters. That was another recent death just right here before the finals that was paying tribute to 17, Bob Gibson. So yeah, these kind of rituals going all over the place, and I mean I've caught a lot of them over the years, but I'm sure the amount I've caught, there's probably way more I don't even know about yet. So.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and I'm just like, man, and just like how you said, because I'm a lot younger, I'm in my mid-20s, but I always had a feeling that this stuff just couldn't be real. I remember I had a Facebook post in 2011, and I was just a senior in high school at this point, and I said, it's funny how as soon as Steve Jobs, loses his job, Apple gets back, finally gets it back, and now he ends up dead. But nobody questions this stuff. I said, whatever, and I put R.I.P. Steve Jobs. And but I already knew I was questioning things before, and that's the first time I actually posted things. So I always thought, this stuff cannot be a coincidence. Every single thing that pops up, how it is. And I remember the first time I saw your page, it was, you were talking about the Warriors winning their championship, I think, against Cleveland. It was a few years ago, and it just popped up randomly. I don't know where it was. And then, of course, I started watching it. It was so interesting because, that captivated me. So I screenshotted the page because I didn't have the YouTube account at the time. And I did what I did. By the time I came home that day, the page was deleted. It was gone. Yeah, and I was like, what? And it was funny because in that same video I was watching when I screenshotted it, you said, y'all be wary because they delete my channel all the time. That's the funny part. I said, hopefully it doesn't get deleted. The same day I came back, it was gone.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, there was a while where I couldn't keep a channel up. They just delete it once a week. So.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate all the work you're doing, and the I guess I would say the courage, because some people they don't like speaking about this stuff. Like I have, everybody. I already know you know about this, but we talk to friends or family or whoever that just doesn't want to listen or take in the information, or even want to give you at least 1 year. I don't even need two, just one. It's just like, man, because at the end of the day, this stuff doesn't lie. I was on my Snapchat today, and I said, there's plenty of reasons why we knew the Lakers were going to win in 6. And I remember, even the numerology for today is 41. And I was telling them why, I did this as soon as game 5 started. And I was like, I don't think the Lakers will win today. They said, why? I said, because Sunday, Kobe died Sunday. I said, and the numerology for Sunday is 41. I was like, there's a whole bunch of things that corresponded, but people didn't understand what I was saying. I was like, oh, yeah, nothing. It's like, they're just going to win in Game 6, I feel. That's all I end up saying. But it's just funny how all that works out. And then I already knew as soon as the game was over, I was like, okay, Zach's going to be on live later tonight. I know he is, so I go straight to YouTube. Right there, it says live in 20 minutes. I said, perfect. I'm just waiting for it. So, yeah, man, I do appreciate, you stepping forward and doing these things. And, yeah, the message has to get out. I actually have your book as well. I got my mom onto it. It's so funny. She loves watching you, hearing them. She watches a lot of stuff, so it's weird. She'll listen to this, but then at the same time, she'll listen to some other nonsense. I'm just like, okay, you got to pick and choose, but that's women, so whatever. But that's besides the point. So, but, yeah, man, I do appreciate the work you're doing. And, yeah, and everybody, all the trolls and stuff, I know you're used to it. Just, yeah, forget all of them. But, yeah, I'm going to do my best to, share your work as well, too, my man. Because you're doing a good job, and people have to know this stuff. Because at the end of the day, lives and every other thing could, I guess, could be prevented from being taken and things like that. If they just knew this stuff, it wasn't so, into the world and just seek knowledge. It's weird, but they're different. People are just different, I guess.
Indeed. All right, I appreciate it. Keep up the good work.
No problem, man.
All right, thank you. Yeah, again, just the world of sports. It's just stuff like this day after day. Bob Gibson dies on the 52-year anniversary of his 17 strikeout game when we're busy documenting all the 17s that they're paying tribute to in sports because the Lakers are about to get that 17th symbolic championship. But then you just realize he's a Hall of Famer. Hall of Famers 52, dead on the 52-year anniversary, and then on a date with 52 numerology. And he played for the Cardinals, St. Louis, and he died on his 47th week of his age, and St. Louis is 47, and Bob Gibson in the most pure cipher is 40, and the Cardinals got eliminated that day 4-0 by San Diego. Caller?
It's all ritual. Jimmy Butler was talking with LeBron James on the court. If you watch it and go back and watch the game where Jimmy Butler scored 35 points, he was talking with LeBron James, and the whole time on the court, he was just about to get in a fist fight with AD after he got in a brawl with Dwight Howard. And then the next game, they all talking, laughing, lovey-dovey on the court like they're best friends again. No, it doesn't work like that in the NBA Finals.
I hear you. I hear you. So, what would you say, athletic actors?
They're most definitely actors. And the way they scripted it, I already knew they were going to win in 6. It's perfectly scripted.
Well, once I heard about Father-Daughter Day, that was starting to make a whole lot of sense based on the theme of the season. So, yeah, the other thing I get sick of with these grown men is rolling around on the floor like they're all hurt real bad, acting like big babies, and then they're back in the game a few minutes later. It's like, come on, man. What grown man is rolling around all on the floor like his leg fell off, and then he's back in the game a few minutes later? I just get sick of watching that with pro sports, you know?
Exactly. And then the games they win, Jimmy Butler scored big, but then the games they lose, he just disappears on the court. And where was Bam?
Well, exactly. They're just that's how it is. I mean, you just see that pro sports aren't real when these teams just don't show up. I'll never forget Game 7, Blazers Lakers. What was that? 2000? It was right around 2000, 2001. I think it was 2000. But Lakers were down about 17 points to the Blazers to start the fourth quarter. Blazers didn't even try to play in the fourth quarter. They just played as dumb as you could play. They didn't try to rebound. They didn't try to defend. They didn't use up the shot clock with the lead. They just hoisted up bricks. And the Lakers came back and won the game. And I just said, come on. I mean, they didn't even try to play the fourth quarter. That was the worst quarter of the Blazers' last 5 years of basketball. You mean they can't bring it in the fourth quarter on the verge of going to the NBA Finals? It's just the same stuff year after year. You got to be blind to not see how rigged sports are. So.
Exactly, and that's why they didn't want any people around the bubble. They didn't want anybody to see the acting.
I don't think that matters, honestly, man. They do the same shit every single year, fans there or not. So I don't think it's that, but I mean, it's just pro sports are a joke. They are a joke.
Yeah, it was scripted to look like LeBron had this tough path to get there. It was all scripted. It's all scripted.
They did not give him a tough path. The Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals? I mean, come on. The Nuggets didn't belong in the Western Conference Finals.
No, the way ESPN talking about it, they trying to say like the bubble was so competitive. It was tough for LeBron. Him having to be there.
Oh, yeah.
They do this through the offseason.
So that's what was funny is both the Lakers and the Heat went 3-5 in the bubble regular season. And again, King James equals 35. He's 35 years old right now. Jimmy Butler scores 35 in the Heat's last win. But yeah, they did rituals through the whole bubble. And that was the story at the beginning. The Lakers are having trouble because LeBron, he needs to play for the fans, and he doesn't feel it without the fans. It's like, please with these scripts, man. It's all about 3-5, 17. So, yeah, I hear you, man. I don't know what to do about these sleepers. They don't want to wake up.
Yeah, but that was about it.
All right, man.
Call in and say that.
Appreciate it. You have a good night. See you. Hey, what's up? It's my co-host Jonathan. What's up, Jonathan?
Hey, what's up, bro?
Hey, man.
Hey, you can hear me good?
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, cool. Hey, I know I said I wasn't gonna call in, but I just had to call in, bro. You know I couldn't help it.
Well, you have to call in. You're the Miami representation. What do you got to say about your Miami Heat?
Well, I used to when before LeBron came to Miami, it was just so different. It was just so because I'm telling you, like, it's just everything with LeBron is just like you used to could go to a Miami Heat game and park, right? Just a regular park for $10. Just a regular park, you pay $10. The tickets didn't used to be that much. Soon as LeBron came to Miami, that same parking lot where you used to pay $10 went up to $40.
Sure.
The same parking lot went up to $40, and the tickets went through the roof, and everybody was a fan of the Heat, and to me it's like they try to make like Pat Riley look like this genius, like even though LeBron left, who cares? He still built this team, and they still made it all the way to the NBA Finals, and then it's like about trying to make him look like a genius, but it's all about LeBron, it's 17th season, he wins the 17th for the Lakers, NBA equals 17, it's all about, like you predicted, it's all about the number 17 and LeBron
And again, just the other 17s coming from Ohio, the 17th state, the Cavs, the 17th team to join the NBA. That's why we just knew it when they did that on 1-7. We're like, oh, can't get any more 17 than this.
Right, did it on 1-7. Then he signs the $153 million contract, which is the 17th triangular number.
Indeed.
It's just so easy to. But no, I think honestly you make a good point, and when you say, and I agree with this, they're just they have to be oblivious to this. They just don't know. They're just under so much mind control that they don't know what's going on. Like, I told you, I played sports too. And Miami, that's where all these athletes, they go to the NFL, right? Mainly, not too many in the NBA, but I started talking to players that I know that are in the NFL about this, right? About this subject matter that we're talking about, and they act like I'm just talking some bullshit. They say, there I go again with conspiracy theory talk.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying? Athletes that I know, it's fucked up. It's like, I'm just trying to talk to you about something that just makes common sense. It's simple second grade math, but I think they're just oblivious. These athletes are oblivious to what's going on. I believe that they are under some kind of mind control.
Well, it's just like, if I was an entertainer, I'd be cluing into things, all the suspicious deaths. It's nonstop, man. It's just like, again, the Bob Gibson dying on the anniversary of his greatest game where he had 17 strikeouts in the World Series. Whitey Ford dies the day the Yankees get eliminated. It's just the same shit week after week. As a player, I'd be like, fuck, man, am I going to end up dying on the anniversary of my biggest game? Shit, maybe I don't want to score any more points. But, it's just amazing to me how people...
What are the chances of that, too, on the anniversary? And Bob Gibson, he was like the greatest pitcher of all time.
And he was a basketball player. And he was a basketball player.
And people try to say a debate. Right. And they try, right. They try to say, well... at the time, out of Bob Gibson, Sandy Koufax was better. Like, get the fuck out of here. Bob Gibson was probably the best pitcher of all time, and that's why they changed the rule on the mound. That's why they had to lower the mound or raise it or whatever they did. They had to change the fucking rule. Because, they had to lower the mound because he was dominating so much. And people who talk on this, like motherfuckers like Nick Wright and Mad Dog, and they actually try to make an argument saying Sandy Koufax was better. Sandy Koufax didn't even play the same amount of years that Bob Gibson played 17 seasons. Koufax only played 12. Right. It's just like, you can't even compare. But that's what they try to do. They try to say, oh, well, because, and I want to bring up another fake-ass motherfucker. Killer Mike. with this fucking fake ass shit. Look, I mean, okay, now black people have their own bank. So fucking what? So what that supposed to mean? Are we free now? What that's supposed to mean? Like,
and you can just see with this knowledge, you can see.
I want to know.
With this knowledge, with this knowledge, you can see that it's not really a black bank. This is some more Jesuit shit. So it's not even what people think it is.
But if white people made a white bank saying this is a all white bank, then he'll be the same motherfucker screaming that this shit is racist.
Well, that's exactly, and exactly, you just see how society groomed it that way. It's okay for black to have exclusive things, but not for other races. And again, they just keep making people put all this focus and emphasis on race. That's just how they keep people divided on the same shit. But, yeah, it's just such a ritual, man, so.
Killer Mike is a part of this. He's a phony, but he tries to act like he's all about the movement and this and that.
His birth name equals 201. His birth name's 201. So it just shows he's probably born into this network as well. Atlanta, big Jesuit city.
201, right. And that's why there's a reason why all these rappers, the biggest rappers, are born around September 27th. You know, you have all these rappers that are born near that date. Some of the biggest rappers are born around September 27th. From T.I. to Jeezy, to Trick Daddy, Lil Wayne, on and on and on. And, you know, there's a reason why. You know, that's a huge disproportion for the biggest rappers that are just born around that same time. Around the September 27th, which is the Jesuit Order's birthday.
Yeah. Indeed.
So what do you think we got to do next? Like, I mean, just because people aren't going to wake up, so we got to take some more drastic measures.
I'm saying for the people awake, man, we need to cooperate. For all the it's just like there's enough people in the world who see what's going on. We don't need everybody else. It's like we got to go get a plot of land near the equator. I'm telling you, that's the spot to be. And just start fucking doing life right down there, man. Grow our own food and be self-sustaining. I mean, we're not going to wake up these sleepers, man. They slept right through the... I mean, how are you going to sleep through the Chadwick Boseman ritual that they did? I mean... And people still don't get it. So it's amazing, man. Most people, there really doesn't seem to be much hope for them. So
I mean, I like that idea.
Yeah, it's got. I don't know what else you can do, man. So
I think that might be the only way to do it.
Yeah, it's I know Sweet Lady's not going to let me go anywhere for the next year and a half. She has to finish her school, but then once that's done, I'm going to be trying to persuade her that it's time to get out of here, man. We spend enough time here. So.
All right. What you going to do when the grid goes down?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, another big Jesuit ritual, man. So. Yeah. Funny how they code the same numbers on everything, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anything else going on, man?
Not really. I'm putting together putting together a decode on a group called Griselda out of Buffalo. I'll have that together next week.
Okay. Well, I look forward to that next Sunday night. All right.
Yep. So I mean, that's pretty much it. It just gets boring, you know, it just gets boring with these same numbers, and it's so predictable.
It's not even fun to call things right anymore, man. Like I'm just like, this shit's just too old.
Yeah,
it's just like, what more do we gotta prove, man? What more do we gotta prove out here? So.
Yeah, it's like it's not as exciting as it used to be.
Yeah, it's just
like,
again boring. Predicting things correctly is just too stupid. It's too easy. So. All right, man. Well, I appreciate it, Jonathan.
all right, I'll get back with you.
All right, man. You have a good night.
Peace.
All right, see you, man.
Call from
Caller,
Yo,
you're on. You're on.
hold up. Zach?
You're on. Yeah, this is Zach.
All right. You know how Jonathan wait. Your wifey said she doesn't want you to leave, right? And Jonathan's like, what else could we do? Well, says the winter solstice is coming up. Like, I don't know if you remember how I recommended that you should decode at the vigil, like, of whatever rapper gets sacrificed, like whether it's Black Youngster or NBA Youngboy, Kevin Gates. You know, you gotta wake up these sleepers, man.
Well, that's what we try to do every day. We covered a lot of dead musicians over the years. People are still sleeping, but yeah, we always reach somebody new when something like that happens. So we'll be on it.
Right, and LeBron does have a Twitter. It's King James at King James.
Oh, he does have a Twitter. Okay.
Yeah, and the goofy dude you were talking about is Skip Bayless.
Skip Bayless, you're right. That is who I was talking about.
Yeah, he got a Twitter as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and the hip hop show with Jonathan, you doing it tomorrow? Or what's good with that? Is it postponed?
Jonathan was busy today, so he couldn't do the show this week. But we'll probably do it next Sunday. So.
All right. See, I don't know what else, man. Like, you trying to like you tired? I don't want to like keep you like on the line if you want to knock out or something.
No, I'm just taking a few more calls. I'll get off here in probably about 15 minutes. But do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, is there any correlation? Have you noticed with the fifth album of certain rappers, like let's say Drake, right? So around the time he was about to drop Scorpion, XXX Tentacion, he gets smoked. Big Sean, right? Around the time he was about to drop his fifth album, Detroit 2, Naya Marie Rivera gets sacrificed. MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, about the time he dropped recently his fifth album, Tickets to My Downfall, and he let it known on Instagram that his aunt and his pops passed away. And this dude was given or gifted a Moon Man, or VMA, for Best Alternative Video. Nipsey Hussle, his fifth album, Victory Lap, he gets killed off, his character. Mac Miller's fifth album, Swimming, he gets sacrificed by Ariana Grande, and among others. Beyonce as well, her fifth album, titled after her, she lets it known that she's had a miscarriage. So have you noticed this, or is this like new to you? Is there any correlation?
I didn't realize anything about the fifth album before you said all this, but that's very interesting. I think he might have found something there that I wasn't aware of, so I'll have to look more into that.
Thanks, fam. And the other gentleman who talked on your whatchamacallit, your Patreon, right? The live stream. He was like, how the hell is Jesuits 112? Did you know that Jesuits in plural is 112 in reverse Francis Bacon?
Oh, well, I didn't know that, but Catholicism's 112. Again, the Jesuits say they operate in 112 countries, so that's interesting.
Yeah, and could you do me a favor, could you follow my Instagram or check it real quick? Like, tell me what you think. I'm still working on things though, in case it's not good enough.
What's your Instagram page?
Champions League King.
Champions what?
League King, like a soccer tournament.
League King. Champions League King.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I found it. J Easy. Okay, got it.
Right.
Okay. I followed you.
Yeah, and you seen anybody ever bring up that Chadwick Boseman astrology piece?
I'm not sure. Chadwick Boseman astrology piece, the middle post at the top.
Yeah, the one where it was Saturn, Jupiter, and the moon. It formed a triangle shape in a Sagittarius moon, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, well, I didn't know anything about this, so no, I got to research it.
Yeah, and how YHWH is 828, isn't it? In the bottom, I have memes. Oh, Diego Lane is as well. You know.
Okay. Yeah, I could do some more research. So.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. You know, like, has anybody ever brought to you about the rapper Tyga? How he's probably gonna get sacrificed in Year of the Tiger for his rival Travis Scott and his ex-girlfriend Kylie Kristen Jenner.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting thought. That would sound like a fitting ritual, so it makes some sense.
Yeah, like I actually got the date. You know how you talk about 12A with Senior of the Alpha?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and what else? I got a meme. Could I post it on Free to Find Truth and you could check it out?
Sure. Yeah.
Alright, I'm logged in. I'm gonna pull it up real quick because I've been up all day. I can't explain this.
Okay. All right, man. Well, I'll look for that post on Free to Find Truth. I'll let somebody else get in. You have a good night, man. Thank you.
All right.
All right, see you.
Call from.
Caller?
Hey, Zach.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, man. Yeah, I just had something for you. Else for you to ask you. Enough about the Lakers game. So, I just had to see how many days it was from the real King James' birthday. So, from his birthday to today's game was 114 days.
LeBron James, 619, the 114th prime. Good thought to do that. What a joke, man.
Yeah, that was just another reason for them to end it off today. 114 days after real King James' birthday. So
amazing. Yeah, that was a good thought to even measure from that. So yeah, there it is. 114 days later, 619, the 114th prime. LeBron James, 114. 3 months and 22 days as well. The NBA Finals is 322 in Jewish Gematria. Nice. Nice.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it just goes to show, man, if people had a brain, they would realize, okay, this proves that coronavirus is fake, the whole league suspension's fake, all this stuff to set it up this way, it's all a perfect ritual, it's just all a big joke. It's all at our expense, so... Yeah?
Yeah, man. That was all I had for you today.
Appreciate it, man. Good one. Have a good night.
Call from.
Caller?
Yeah, hello?
Hello.
Yeah, I had a quick question because I'm kind of like on the fence with this shit. It's like on one hand, I kind of like do the like the calculator shit. Like sometimes when I see some suspicious shit, I'll just like look it up. And it'll connect, but like, how do they get all those numbers to connect and all the scores to be exact? And like, do all the players know? Do all the people know? Like, does everybody involved with that know? Is it only the big people? Like, how does that all work? Because I've never really heard you explain that.
Sure, I mean, that's because I don't have the answer to that question. But again, you watch the way the players play or don't show up. You can see how the scores are. If they have a set score to end the game at, you can see how it's achieved. I mean, the Heat didn't really come out to play tonight, so
magnets or some shit.
What's that?
Like I see some shit like.
Well, they're definitely using technology. Again, they're definitely using technology. The Harlem Globetrotters never miss from beyond half court, but they can't beat an NBA team. Again, the Harlem Globetrotters should be able to beat any NBA team. They can make all their shots from beyond half court. So, how are you gonna stop that?
That makes sense, but I remember on Mamba Day, whatever it was. I told my brother watch the score be 24-8 to start the game, just fucking around with him, and it was. and then I look up like some shit like a coincidence. Like I got some notification today. I don't know if you have like Bleacher Report on your phone or whatever, but I got this notification. I was like on March 24th, 2019, LeBron promised the Lakers a championship or whatever, and it was some Instagram comment, and he was saying like, you know how like the Nipsey Hussle whatever is from Los Angeles, and he was using his phrase like the marathon continues or whatever. And that number was like equal to the date they were saying. So like, but like, do they go that deep into that shit to like make those little things connect, or is it all just, or some of it like coincidence? Because some people sound a little crazy when they're going like really deep into certain shit.
Some things could obviously be coincidental, but the rituals are pretty deep. So, but yeah, sometimes I think people do go too far.
All the players know. All the players are in on it, and like nobody's ever really said anything before about it. Because I'm like kind of halfway with it. Like I can see sports being rigged, but like is everybody that's famous? Do they all know about it, or is it only certain people?
Well, again, it's a fraternity of people that aren't like us. I mean, most of these guys don't even know who their dad is, which is all bullshit. It's because their dads are former players, and you just start to see it's just a big family affair. That's why every year in the NBA playoffs, they pay tributes on Mother's Day and Father's Day, but this year they couldn't do that because there weren't any games because of coronavirus. So look at what they do. They end the season on Father-Daughter Day and the year of Kobe's. I mean, so it's so obvious that it's all a family affair. I don't
like the black. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, your idea of being halfway in and out because you can't answer some questions is not very good thinking, actually. Because you shouldn't have to answer all these questions to realize that. I mean,
I'm not.
Well, that's what you're saying in your own words. I'm just quoting what you're saying, but.
No, it's like it's more like I do like some of the shit is a little ridiculous. Like with like Black Panther, or whatever. They moved Jackie Robinson Day all the way to like like at a different date, and then that's when like that I could see that's ridiculous, right?
Again,
like,
from what's regularly Jackie Robinson Day to the day that they had it this year was 135 days after it normally is. The Dodgers fell to 13-5 away, losing on that day in Texas, where Jackie Robinson was in the military, and then he was in the Black Panther Tank Brigade in World War II, supposedly, which was number 761, which is the 135th prime. And remember, Kobe Bean Bryant's 135, and that week that Chadwick Boseman died on Jackie Robinson Day, that week began with Monday, Kobe Bryant Day, and the Lakers won with 135 points. So, again, that stuff's not a coincidence. That's the perfect script and ritual.
Yeah. All right. So let me like word. I do think you're right about a lot of stuff. What I'm saying, I'm halfway in and out of is like how they do it. And
well, that's what I'm saying too. The more I watch it, the more it starts to feel like it's like real fucking magic, like some sort of evil spell. Because it's just like how we predict.
No, because what I was thinking like either like what you're saying, like is it all like coincidence, or is it all what you're saying? Is it like some of it's coincidence, some of it whatever? Because a lot of the stuff is ridiculous and like easy to point out, like some of the things.
Well, that's just like what I said. Some things are just obvious.
Some of it's a little bit.
Right. Some things are obvious, but then some things are harder to explain. I'm saying the same thing, so it's like, God, what do they have the players in on it? And then if something goes wrong, they got their fucking juju magic behind it to make sure it stays on point.
Yeah.
It sounds crazy, but you witness it. It's just like I was saying earlier with the Virginia championship. We said Virginia was going to win, and they did win. But it was a miracle that they won because one of those games was just beyond the script for them to even win the game. So
the reason I was asking you about, then after this is the last thing I have to say. You were saying the reason I was asking like all famous people, whatever, or all people in sports, because like there are certain people. Like, would you say that most or all politicians are all in on it, or all people related to them, like presidents and all that stuff, are in on it?
Well, you even start to pay attention to politics. I mean, there's a lot of people in Congress and the Senate. There's over 500 total people, and you survey the average American, they can probably name 2 or 3 politicians. Same thing with professional sports leagues. The average person who doesn't follow sports, like Sweet Lady, she doesn't know anything about the NBA, but she knows the name LeBron James. She knows the name Kobe Bryant. Does she know anybody names after that? Maybe Michael Jordan. She doesn't know who the other people are. So
yeah, but this is what I'm saying about
Well, the point, I'm answering your question. I'm getting to the point to answer your question. Again, it doesn't have to be all of them because there's only a few people that command everyone's attention. So.
Right. So the last thing, because I know like some of these people personally, right? Like my friend's cousin's in the NFL. His name's Cameron Sutton. He plays for the Steelers.
All right, so just here, I gotta quote you on that. My friend's cousin's in the NFL. How well do you know your friend's cousin? I've had a lot of friends, and I haven't really known many of their cousins very well.
All right, hold on.
Okay, you
hold
met
on.
him.
Yes, I met him.
Okay.
No, but hold on. There's more specific people. That my best friend who I've known for 10 years. His dad was the first black president, like assistant to 3 presidents: Bush, Clinton, and Obama. He's writing a book. His name is Samuel Sutton. You can Google that right now if you want. You can look up his picture. He's holding up the suits and stuff. I talk to him every day. I'm always with him. He works for a billionaire now named Robert Mercer, who funded Trump's campaign and all that stuff. I can literally go to his house. I have the keys to his house. Like, I'm that close with him. He knows all of the generals and stuff. He knows all the presidents personally. He knows the Clintons. And I have asked him certain things like this, and he would have no idea what I'm talking about. So, like, do you think he would know, or like somebody like him who is the assistant who travels everywhere with the president, who travels everywhere with the billionaire, or whatever? He's actually in New Hampshire with him right now, staying with him. Do you think he would know this type of stuff? Because I've known him for 10, 11 years now, and I mean, like, I know everything about him. I know the whole story. I can send you the transcript of his book if you want. You can look it up. You can look him up. But, like, would somebody like him, would he know about it? And do you think he could be lying to me about, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Of course they could be lying to you. These people who use this knowledge are in secret societies. If you're not in the society, I mean, I don't know what your relation is to
he was
him.
in the Navy. He was in the Navy for 32 years. But I do know him, like, I know, you're familiar with Condoleezza Rice, right?
Of course.
Secretary of State. Right. I know her, like, I'm getting a letter of recommendation from her for college and stuff. So, I've met a lot of these people. That kid had his birthday party on Air Force One.
So you're in high school?
With President Obama.
You're in high school?
No. I'm first year in college, but I'm transferring. But
okay.
this kid, yeah, I was going to transfer to USC, Southern California. That's where Secretary Rice teaches now, so that would help. I'm pre-med, but, like, in terms of that, right, like, my friend, my best friend or whatever, he had his birthday on, like, Air Force One on the plane with Obama, so, like, he's really connected in with those people, right? So, like, would somebody like him, who's with the presidents all the time, he knows everything about it, he's writing a book or whatever, he has contact with all of them, basically, like, would he know? Like, you see what I mean? Like, how could they keep it a secret from him too? Like, I mean, of course they can keep secrets from everybody, whatever. But, like, would somebody like him know? Because I don't know if he would be lying this whole time. Like, it doesn't seem like he would have any idea what I'm talking about if I brought this up to him.
Well, I mean, how much do you know about him? I don't know who Samuel Sutton is, to answer the question, because I don't know who they are. But I mean,
you know the Secretary of State, and like, those people are, like, people in government, they are really shady, and there's a lot of stuff he couldn't include in the book or whatever. But in terms of the numbers and all that, like, that's where, because I know people personally in this type of thing, the people that you talk about, that's where I kind of, a little bit, I'm like, I don't know, like, if that could, that could be possible with all these people involved and all that type of stuff. But you're on your laptop right now, right?
Well, I'm in front of a computer.
Right. Yeah. So you just Google him real quick, if you can.
Samuel Sutton.
Yes. Just so you know, no, I'm not bullshitting you. And then if you want, you can look up Cameron Sutton too, the player for the Steelers.
The guy who comes up is the guy who died in 1832. It's okay, man. I appreciate the call. I'm going to let somebody else get in here. Take care.
Called from.
Caller?
Hey, Don, Zach, what's going on, Zach?
What's up, man?
Hey man, it's Don Mata. How you doing?
Well, I know you're doing well. When I heard it was Father-Daughter Day, I was like, Don Mata is gonna be winning. So
Don Mata's going to be winning, and you know I'm trying to catch the live stream. I just turned my my volume down on my other phone, but listening to that last caller, god damn, what is this guy talking about?
serious, I was like, okay, he's like 18 years old. No wonder he's got all these questions that are annoying the hell out of me. So.
Well, yeah, not only are you young, you're asking all these goddamn questions, but
he's like, I know this guy Samuel Sutton who never heard of. He's like, but I don't think he'd know about all this. It's like, what are you even saying, man? Like, how much does they answer these questions? You're in pre-med school? God, they must be letting anybody into USC these days.
Yeah, I mean, goddamn. I know everyone listening to this live stream was tired of hearing him say how well he knows these people that he says he's connected with.
It's like,
well, then you're an idiot, and you're not in the circle, and if they do know, you think they're going to tell you at 18 years old?
Exactly. So, again, that's why we don't listen to high school kids or freshmen in college.
Oh, man, that was killing my brain, racking my brains now listening to this guy. I'm like, yeah, listen, I know a guy that plays in the NFL, too. And guess what? If you look at the fucking contract, it says sports and entertainment, just like every fucking wrestler. So what do you think? This is for entertainment purposes only. Of course, these fucking sports are fake and they're all rigged. Is everyone in on it? Yeah, even the fuckers that sign a contract that don't know what they're signing up for. Yeah, you're all part of the script. Absolutely, you're all in the shit.
That's how it looks. Fred VanVleet dribbling out the clock.
Anyways, yeah, man. Oh, my God. What a game tonight. I mean, wow. And I didn't know. So the father-daughter thing, I didn't know that until you put the video out. So that really made me feel confident that the Lakers were going to win it when I saw you put that video out last night. I'm like, oh, shit, you kidding me?
Once I found out about Father-Daughter Day, I was just like, and just, I mean, how perfect it is on LeBron's 287th day of his age. It's just, it's crazy, man.
And the 172, like the 172
right,
was
gets his 172nd win. And somebody pointed out that when he left the Miami Heat, he left the Miami Heat 172 days from his birthday. So.
Wow. Man, that was crazy. You know, I doubled down on the Lakers yesterday. That's how confident I was in them winning the day. So I sort of hedged my bet, and I said, all right, I'm gonna put 2,700 that they just flat out win money line. Then I put 1,500 in with 5 other games yesterday, college football, and I hit them all.
Nice.
And it was down to the Lakers for a $15,000 payout on a $1,500 ticket. I picked the Lakers to cover the spread because I knew it wouldn't be close tonight. I knew they would beat the hell out of the Heat. It wasn't going to be a game tonight. I knew that the Heat would kind of lay an egg. Jimmy Buckets only shot 10 shots and didn't do shit. Yeah, it wasn't your night. You know, it wasn't in your script for you to win the game, right? So the only thing, I also picked the over 216 points. So I lost the bet on that because the Heat didn't do shit.
Yeah, you know, man, we should have talked more about that because the 199 points is perfect. It's the 46th prime, just like how we had Anthony Davis advancing 199 days after his birthday to the finals. So 199, the 46th prime.
How crazy is that? Yeah. Yes, and when I saw that, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I should have picked the under and I would have hit for 15 grand. Either way, I still won a great amount of money tonight on the Lakers, man. And I just wanted to basically just call. And again, thank you for all the knowledge and just, you know, it's crazy because when people ask me, well, how'd you find out about this guy? And I put so many people on you and I got so many people following you and watching you and, you know, trying to pick up on the knowledge and learn. And I said, you know, it was after Kobe died. I went down this rabbit hole and I'm Googling like, wow, how crazy was that? And I knew there was something weird about Kobe passing away. And it just, the whole story sounded like bullshit. And then I found your video that you had posted about Kobe. And I watched that video over and over and over again. I'm like, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard or seen. But I believed it because it all made sense. Like, numbers don't lie. And the fact that all these numbers were lining up with Kobe's death and how you broke it down, man, I was blown away and I was a believer in. And then watching the videos about the Chiefs and why they would win the Super Bowl, I said, okay, you know what? That was the first test. I said, I'm going to put 2,000 down on the Chiefs and see what they do. And won $6 grand on the Super Bowl. So I'm like, wow. And then the 222 with Andy Reid, I'm like, this is just fucking nuts. And then you go back and you put the knowledge to every game, every championship that's ever happened, and you can tie it into the numbers. So it's like, that's why I said the other day, like, your callers, you got to do the research. You're giving us the knowledge. You put us on to Gematria, and you're showing us the 4 ciphers, and, people got to find the riddles. And the truth community, we got to do some work too. Like, and like you said, people depend on you too much. And it's like, then they get mad when you make it one wrong every other way. You know what I mean? The one time that you do get something wrong, people can't wait to point that out. And it's like, all right,
that's human nature, though. That's just like, you can do 100 nice things for somebody, and the time you do something that pisses them off, that's what they care about the most, the time you pissed them off. So
yeah. I have a brother who just won big money tonight, right? Because I've been going big on the Lakers, so he put some money up, and he won $14,000 tonight. But it's like, you still don't want to give the word credit tonight. You're thanking me, oh my God, little brother, we won money. And I'm like, and you still can't admit that the fucking games are rigged. You still think that it was because Jimmy Butler he had a terrible game and he just was trigger shy and he must have been nervous tonight. You really think that that's why the Heat lost the game?
Exactly. I just hate how people make excuses. It's like, listen, anybody who's an athlete who played, like, if you're competitive against a team, you're competitive against a team. There's not a certain night where you come out and you just get wasted by 40 points by that same team. You guys are going to play each other competitive against each team. When you play a team that you're overmatched against, you're going to whoop their ass every time. That's the way it is in sports. But pro sports not. Pro sports is like, man, any given Sunday. Or even college basketball is such a joke. The year that that's how we knew Virginia was going to come back and win that next year too, because we said that was a ritual. That year that Virginia became the first 1 seed to lose to a 16 seed, that was the 136th game all time between a 16 and a 1, and that's the 16th triangular number, and that game was on the 16th of March. And it was just a joke. There's no way a top basketball program's going to lose to a school like University of Maryland, Baltimore County, which has players on the team that are like at the same basketball level I'm at. I can't compete against the best Division I athletes. I could hang with UMBC. That shit is just so fake, man. It's so fake.
Right.
So.
Oh man, I'm like, this is crazy, and that's what pissed me off about my brother tonight. Is like, you're still not giving the word credit. I've been telling you why the Lakers were going to win today. The date leaving 81 days, the 41st Sunday of the year, the same day Kobe and Gianna died. Come on, man. If you don't see this as a ritual and a fucking rig,
exactly, man. The day leaving 81 days left in the year plus father-daughter day. It's just like, come on,
father-daughter day. I knew that was the nail in the coffin. When I saw that video you put last, I'm like, oh,
well,
my God,
honestly, I rushed out and put out that video last night for you and also for John, and because I knew both of you were thinking about putting bets down. I was like, well, here, let me show you what I now think now that I know it's father and daughter day. So.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. But yeah, we capitalized big, brother. So yeah, I just wanted to call to say thank you. Can't thank you enough. Listen, you got something coming your way. I need to send you an email too, man, because I definitely want to get a couple books sent over to me for the people, the real friends that they really believe in the knowledge. And I've been trying to teach them as much as I can. But I'm like, listen, I'm gonna get a few copies of his book, and I'm gonna give it to you guys so you guys can read it, make sense of it, and do better for yourselves. Like if you're gonna use the knowledge to go to the casino and gamble a little money, then read this book first before you just go blow money. I had a good friend of mine who fucking put $2,500 on Miami today to win the game. I'm like, are you not listening? You haven't been listening to me for the last 4 fucking months.
Well, he's gonna listen more now.
You're gonna put your game on Miami?
He's gonna listen more now.
Called me tonight. He's like, I know, bro. I know. I should have listened, man. I feel like a kid that, your mother tells you to not to hang out with these bad kids on the street, and you just don't listen. You keep hanging out with these kids on the street. I'm that bad kid that was hanging out with the kids in the street that just didn't listen to his daddy or his mommy. I should have listened to you, man. From here on out, I need to call you first and ask you. Like, I'm going to take your word for it. Did you really believe that Jimmy Buckets was going to win the game? Like, because he said, "Oh, by all means, I'm going to win the next game."
Did you
bought into that bullshit?
Did you tell that guy that it was father-daughter day?
Yeah, and he still wouldn't. He still was like, "Nah, you're just going to have to prove me wrong tonight." Well, hey, the fucking rig proved you wrong tonight. So, what more can you say now? Your boy Jimmy Buckets, he scored no buckets tonight. Only shot 10 fucking shots. And this is the guy you put $2,500 on? Come on. I told him you could have put that in my pocket. I could have put it in for you and made some money for you. Like, what the hell?
Indeed. Well,
oh my God.
Well, he'll probably listen next time. That's the good news. So.
Yeah, he will, man. Well, yeah. Anyhow, Zach.
Hey,
Again,
just to
brother.
remind
Like,
you
I'll
also
shoot you an
though,
email.
don't forget when NBA
Yeah.
comes around next season. Don't forget about NBA TV in 14. So.
Oh, you know what? I heard you on the call the other day after I got off the call, right? You were like, "Oh yeah, he lost big," and it was when the Nets beat the Clippers on fucking NBA TV.
Yeah, because we had that. That was a huge upset. Man, that was such a good payout. I felt bad when you called in and told me that because I was like,
"Oh man,
yeah, man."
it was a 18 parlay that game that weekend. And the Nets were the only game that I missed. The Nets versus the Clippers, I would have hit for 24 grand on a small bet.
Game, yeah, exactly. That game was a huge payout, and that was a really good riddle for the upset. Again, NBA
huge
TV
payout,
14
man. I
always.
And I didn't see your video until after I put the bet. And when I saw your video, I'm like, oh, I fucked up. Shit, I lost this bet. Because it was too perfect. It was too perfect of a script, of a riddle. And then just to watch it happen, I'm like, wow, the Nets are winning by 20 points. Wow, this is crazy.
It is.
Oh man. Anyhow, man, I'll send you an email. Put my address. I'm gonna send you a little cash, man, and you can send a couple hard copies because I prefer the hard copy, man, and sit on the train and ride into work and read a hard copy of the book instead of the the e-copy on the phone or whatever, man. So
Indeed.
Again, thank you, Zach, man. I appreciate all the work you do, man, and we'll be in touch soon.
All right, man. You have a good night. Congrats on the win.
Zach, take care, brother. Bye-bye. Right. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, see you. All right. Don Mata. He wins a lot. We'll leave it there, you guys. It's after 11 out here on the West Coast, after 2 on the East Coast. Thank you to everyone who gave the tweets a like or a reshare. Again, I'm trying to use... I've had Twitter forever, but I hardly ever use it. All right, fine. One last call. One last call for the night.
From?
What's up, Georgia?
Hey, guys. It's after
Are you on?
Well, hey, Zach, this is, Junior. I'm 17. I'm not like that other high school kid. I just wanted to talk about Christianity.
About what?
Christianity.
Oh, Christianity. Okay.
My main problem about Christianity is like, I wonder if you would think if you thought the same way. It's like a lot of times when I try to question things about the Bible, I notice a lot, like, my parents usually say, like, oh, it's just like miraculous. Like, it's usually like I'm just like, okay, if God created the world in 7 days, how does it line up so, like, perfect to, like, you know how a lot of times they say God, seven is God's number?
Right.
And, yeah, it's like, and things like that, and how it's, is it 66 books in the Bible or something like that?
There's 66 books in most Bibles. There's 73 in the Catholic Bible.
Yeah. And it's just things like that. And me and my mom were having a conversation last night. We were like, I was questioning her about basically like Jesus and all that. You know, a lot of people say Jesus is Caesar Borgia or something like that. I was telling her like, that's my belief in it. And she was like, nah, it's just Jesus is the Savior. You know, He died for your sins and all that. I was like, a man really died for my sins? Like, how can a man? I don't know. It's just crazy. When I think about a lot of times after these championships, I'm gonna go back to sports. A lot of times in championships, at the Super Bowl, they always just say, I give all my thanks to God. And I'm wondering, like, what God are they talking about?
That's a good question. That's the question people need to start asking a lot more. Exactly. God isn't the same thing to everybody. So, yeah. These dudes selling out their fans, playing in these rigged games. Yeah. It's like, come on. So.
Yeah, and a lot of times, the signs they throw up, they might say, all thanks to God, point at the sky. They're also throwing them like 666, you know.
Right.
Same time.
Right. Yeah. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you staying up and calling in. You have a good night.
All right, man.
All right. Yeah, take care. Oh, all right. I got to take one more call because it's Cleveland. I guess it's LeBron night, so we got to talk to Cleveland. What's up, Cleveland?
Who does that?
You get the last call
Yeah,
tonight.
I wanted to really just answer everybody call about how they thinking they could rig the sport. Basically, if they really like, you know what I'm saying, really study it. First of all, the announcers and everybody already just tell you everything, the story. Every time they be before the game, during the game, they tell you about all the storylines. So they already letting you know the story. But then if you look at the producers and stuff like behind the scene, they tell you all the stuff come from out of a truck, a producer truck, with the transmitters all around the stadium.
Sure.
So that's how they get the score, and then they got the computer chips inside of the balls to tell you the score. They sell them. Anything they come out with, they already been using it like 10 years to 20 years before.
Yeah, it's been going on for a minute. The Globetrotters been making all their shots since the 90s, probably before that. So, but yeah, it's a full-on script at this point. So.
Yeah, but even if you look at the old game, they say the same thing that the new announcers say. They say the same thing, that it was the script, story, and then anybody that believe it, like the NBA, used to be on tape delay. So that's how they was fooling the people back in the day. And then, or like honestly, I really think like the sport from like before, like, you know what I'm saying, like they come out like with the Babe Ruth and all them. I don't think like them players really exist. I think like all them stats and all that stuff just be made up. Because when nobody never know, like when they come with the Will Chamberlain 100-point game and all that type of stuff, I think that just was like stories just for the new era, you know what I'm saying? And then every generation they come with some new storylines, you know what I'm saying? But they recycle the players though, but they just switch it up in different
It's
ways.
just like 33 years ago, NBA Finals ended in Game 6 with the exact same score, 106-93. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you definitely are like if nobody don't call it a script though, like when you called the Cubs in the preseason, that was like the most officialist call out of anything. Like that was before.
Well,
the
I'll tell you what was more impressive. What was
preseason.
more impressive is what I called in spring training the year before that. Because the year before that, I said the Mets will be in the World Series, and they were a real long shot. The Cubs were favorites to win that World Series, and I knew that they were going to get it done. The riddle was rock solid. But before that, we had the Mets in the World Series in spring training, and everyone thought I was crazy. Everyone's like, the Mets aren't going to be there. No way. But they were there. 111, New York, 111. So.
Exactly. And one more thing, and then why people be thinking like, you know what I'm saying, like everybody, like, you know what I'm saying, if you somebody, you definitely gonna know somebody, you know what I'm saying, that made it somewhere, but you ain't gonna really know the people who get to the top, because that's the only reason I only let select a few people get in, because like if they had 1 million, like they had all LeBron James, like let all the people who really could play basketball in the NBA, they want to make LeBron James, you know what I'm saying, they can't throw that narrative out that he the greatest basketball player in the world. So they got to only have like 10 good players in the NBA for real. And then the rest just be like bums. You'd be like, how does dude only be averaging 4 points and he been in the league for 10 years? You know what I'm saying? But they're use it like he the best role player. So like the announcers and the people like on ESPN and TNT, they give you the story in your head, and then that's how people really believe it, because they just tell you the story. Like after the game come off, they tell you what was what, who missed what, so you just believing off that. You ain't like really paying attention to the actual stuff, like exactly how it looks like. And that's the reason, like the one caller was saying about they moved to the bubble because it was like, you know what I'm saying, like they could script it. Basically, they moved to the bubble because if you really look at that, if you really like, honestly, if you really been looking at basketball, you could tell like that looked like super fake. And then like when you told people about the David Blaine commercial when they had shot it in 2007, the commercial tell you the whole thing of the NBA with the transmitters. Man, like you just gotta just really know what you're really looking at. Like they tell you right in plain sight how phony all of it is. Even like with the Jordan and Bird commercials, like when they used to bounce the ball up the
Back in the day, that was like for McDonald's or something. How old are you? How old are you?
Smacking in your face.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay, you're a little bit younger than me. I was a kid when those were coming out. You must have been real small. I'm surprised you still remember that.
Yeah. I'm definitely like I used to really believe sports was real, but you know, like the early 2000s, like when Jordan was on the Wizards, that's when I really know it was fake because it was like, you know what I'm saying? Like I just started really paying attention. Like I used to tell people like, man, like sports fake, you could just really see it.
That was 2001. That was 2001. Jordan went to the
Yeah.
Wizards. I was a freshman in college. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the preseason game he played against New York right after the 9/11.
Well, you know about
That
how
was
his
the
last
preseason
game
game.
against Philly synced with Kobe's last game against Utah, right?
Exactly.
It's all perfect ritual. So.
Exactly. But that's definitely, if they look at the David Blaine commercial, like with the Steve Nash in the crowd, like they show the like how you do a pass and how LeBron, and then like basically like after you had said about the David Blaine commercial, this is one I think it was like in 2008 or 2009, and Kobe was interviewing LeBron, and he had asked him like they were just talking, and he was like, yeah, LeBron, it seemed like he jumped off the trampoline. And in the video, like you could really tell they jumping off a trampoline. They using some like if you really know that's why they have all them lights all at all times on all the players. Cause I've been to a lot of games. I've been to like when they come on the road like shining them be like for the finals and stuff. So they have a lot of like cameras and that real shiny light on them. Like so, it's something about they hologram. Like they got some technology that. You know what I'm saying? The average person won't really understand.
Sure. Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah, but basically that's all I just wanted to call about the rigging. Cause even like if you could just like look it up, like just look at ESPN, like they like to mock you, like they do like a presentation showing you like how they do the stuff before the game. And then, like, you just, like, if you know the stuff fake, then you just look at the whole show and just look like they just throw it in your face. It's showing you, like one reporter say he just look over his script before the show. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a straight mockery.
Indeed.
But that's all I wanted to say, though.
All right, I appreciate it. You have a good night.
All right.
All right. See you, man. I remember that commercial he's referencing. They're like playing horse, Jordan and Bird throwing the ball all over the stadium. I think they were like playing for some McDonald's French fries. Anyway, we'll leave it there, Truth Seeker. Another prediction way out in advance correct. And haters can hate all they want. But again, the beauty of this knowledge is it's about more than money. It's about exposing what's really going on. And, man, I said I wasn't going to take any more calls, but this person has been calling in the whole show and their timing just hasn't been right. All right. Just for the persistence, I got to let them get it in. What's up, caller?
Yeah, man, just one quick thing, all right? You didn't let me finish. You were supposed to go on Google Images, not on Google. I don't know who the fuck the guy from 1892 is, but you didn't let me finish my point. The point what I was going to ask you was, I wanted you to look up Robert Mercer in connection to this guy, and I wanted you to tell me what you can find between these people because I want to know, because I know them personally. I don't know the other guy you looked up. You kind of just hung up the phone, and I didn't really get...
I'm going to hang up a second time because honestly, man, it's just I don't know who any of those people are, and I don't talk about things that I know nothing about. These are people you know, but anyway, you're 18. Someday you'll be older, and then you'll be like, damn, I see why sometimes older people just get annoyed with teenagers. So, and it's not to say there's good teenage callers, but that dude's just annoying. He got this annoying vibe. And it's just like the caller after you said, they're like, damn, man, I'm so glad you got that guy at the phone. He was making my head hurt. So, you're making my head hurt again. Anyway. We'll leave it there, and Until next time, Truth Seeker.